Well, hello there, everyone. My name's James Marshland Monster, and I'm here to unearth the underground. And I'm with my good. I have a guest, and I thought, hey, my first guest will be someone of my friends that I rope in to listen to a Sutter Kane album and have them be very disturbed. Someone who's not ever listened to a horrorcore album. But no, we're starting out possibly way too high. We'll never
Stop.
be able to get on a level playing field ever again unless, I don't know, maybe we get an Icarus on the show. I'm kidding. Ooh, Chuck, I'm coming for you.
Pumpkin season.
I'm coming out so strong against people who are, one, not watching, and two, I don't have a friendship with. In the sense that, I mean, I don't hate him. I just have never talked to him. Maybe one passing comment saying like, "Hey, really like that first EP." This isn't a mic stand. I'm not why am I holding this? Just bring up the mic, James. Why doesn't it want to? If I'm this close, doesn't want to focus. But hey, I guess I just have to walk with the focus. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, one of my best friends. A mentor of me.
Oh.
LYSSA CER. She's
Hello.
here.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm Peach Keen Jelly Bean. How you be?
I'm fine. Today, one of the greatest things happened. So, I don't know if you know this about me, but I love Hanna-Barbera stuff. And I started collecting Yogi Bears. And it's to the bafflement of Nicole. She's like, I don't know. Why do you like Yogi Bear? You never. Oh, wait, hold on.
Hey, boo boo. How can you not like Yogi Bear?
I forgot the fan was still on. Yeah, guys. So I went to Quake Collectibles in Chicago, Illinois. Oh, it's a nice day here in the city. Walking the streets, it's fun. And someone must have come in and sold them just a batch of Hanna-Barbera stuff. And I found the most adorable Yogi Bear. He's got he's like, ooh, he, and he has a
picnic basket.
No, it's a honey.
Oh, he's stealing from Pooh.
Yeah. Oh,
Poor
Pooh can
Winnie.
get bent.
Pooh's a bitch.
Yeah, when
Yogi's
it comes
the
to
man.
Yogi, yeah. Check out Jellystone on HBO Max. He's a doctor now. Thought they were only going to do that thing for a single episode like they did in old Yogi Bear. He every single oh no, that's Huckleberry Hound I'm thinking of. But he's mayor, and I think that's a reference to an old Huckleberry Hound comic book called Huckleberry for President. And,
oh my God! Look at you.
From the 50s. That like these are I love Hanna-Barbera. So
no judgment here, man.
Look at that cute. It
is gangster.
Good. Oh my God!
It is really looks like it's old school. Like
the
that thing
guy
is cool.
said it's probably from the 60s. So
I'm so jealous of you. You probably have so many cool like shops out there and.
Oh, even just within 4 blocks, I have a record store that also sells used DVDs. I have a comic book store, and this store. I just gave away my address. At least my neighborhood.
We're coming for you.
Who please be another Quake collectible or no, it was Kapow, guys. I'm so sorry. It was Kapow. Kapow also has a comic book store, 2 comic book stores, and I think 3 record stores within its area. So it could be either.
Fuck you and your choices. We still have the same bullshit here in Muskegon that we've had before. Although we did get a record store downtown.
Oh, downtown is booming. Oh my God.
It's gorgeous. It's so nice down there. Like it's cool. Like it's definitely popping off and things are happening and it's got like a cool downtown vibe to it now. Like it doesn't feel so barren like it did when we were kids.
Oh yeah. Well, when you were a child and when I was a child, we at least had the mall down there.
Yeah, but then that mall left, and even that mall was janky when it was here.
Yeah.
Like, it was sketchy.
The
I bet some. Remember when Insanities was in there and it had the 2 stories?
that I don't remember. I
Oh
think
yeah, you're a baby. I
well,
forget.
also because I moved. I lived in Grand Rapids from like 4 to 10, I think.
Okay. Well, and you probably wouldn't have gone into Insanities before they built that new mall, anyways.
Oh, when I was 9 years old, all I wanted was a big dog T-shirt and gotta smoke 'em all Pokemon keychain.
I mean, who doesn't want that?
Oh, and also I love just floppy dildos.
Well, yeah, everybody needs those. And
Yeah.
they had them in plentiful supply. Still do, as a matter of fact.
Hey guys, if you're ever in beautiful Muskegon, Michigan, hit up Insanities and tell them we sent you. They won't know
Yeah.
who we are, but
They won't. But we've given them a lot of our money.
shout out, just say like, hey, twitch.tv/mostly speaking Sentai sent us, and maybe they'll give us that coveted Hellraiser shirt that says,
Or that one of those blacklight posters.
oh yeah, oh my god, a blacklight poster. What's the coolest blacklight poster you could think of? Not that you've seen.
Oh man. That I could think of?
Yeah.
Ooh. It would be cool to have some kind of like horror icons like around a poker table or something. I want something new with like all the horror icons. I'm sick of the
Okay.
same shit.
I think it's the Street Sharks. They're hanging out. They're in front of the Quick Stop from Clerks, and they're smoking cigarettes, and
Oh.
the Ninja Turtles are crying in the background.
Oh, damn. You've put some thought into this.
No, this is literally off the top of my head.
Well, then you're about to be way more entertaining than I am. Because I'm just like, damn, that's a good answer.
Or like Cthulhu, but it's Doctor Who.
I could get behind that.
Dr. Cthulhu.
Ooh. Now it's a Dr. Seuss character.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, Dr. Seuss! Oh, cancel him, guys! Why?
Oh, God,
Why aren't they publishing? It's the friggin' people who, goddamn, it's Dr. Seuss's company themselves.
Bless you.
Idiot.
I've had that argument with so many people. So many people. It's not cancel culture when it's the company doing it. It's like Burger King taking away the cheesy tots. It's a choice.
Or to keep on theme, it's Damian Quinn censoring out the F word.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And I applaud, like, seriously, I know a lot of people gave him shit for that. I thought that was gangster and horrorcore as fuck, because that took some balls to do that. And I seriously, I mean, I've always loved and respected Damian Quinn, but that particular decision, I really dug that, because you don't see horrorcore rappers always using their platform for like social change and shit. And we can do that.
Yeah.
It won't kill us.
It's like, oh, but this is horror. It needs to be scary. I can't. Every fucking thing's an allegory in horror if it's done right. Your favorite horror movies are allegories.
Yeah, I don't actually castrate men and like hunt babies. I happen to like both.
Yeah.
I don't sacrifice animals in the moonlight, but at least once a year, you get that message like, you really do these things? Yes, I do. Be afraid.
Yes.
Run.
Stephen King really possessed a car and hit someone with it.
Yeah, he found a town of vampires and, oh my God.
He once had a dream catcher. That's probably actually true. Hey, we got A-Game and Poppin' both in the chat right now.
Oh, snap. Two of my favorite people in the whole world.
Connection is laggy. What do you mean by that? Let me know. It should.
Yeah, we don't want laggy.
It might be A-Game. I apologize to say this, but it might be your internet, bro.
I don't know.
A-Game's
like you. He knows his shit.
Are you possibly in a cave?
I don't think he is.
Might have bad reception in a cave. But yeah, horrorcore should also be about allegory and making things. Take some time. Connection is fine here, says Sophon de Rocks. Sophon de Rocks.
Is that Kathy?
I'm not sure. Like Kathy?
Oh, like no, one of my Kathys. You don't know this Kathy. This was pre LYSSA CER.
Hey, you have always been LYSSA CER.
That is true. I have. I've always been. Always will be.
Was, is, and always shall be, like Gigi Allen once said.
Oh God. I don't want to go out like him.
Oh, no, Poppin's also saying no connection on my end either. I'm sorry, A-Game. You're in a friggin' cave.
Poppin's good?
Yeah. I think he's in a cave. We have 5 viewers right now. That's the most I've ever had for one of these streams. Most of the time people are like, because I only have nerd-ass people on my stream, so they don't give a shit about rap music.
Oh, that's too bad. I've got like 6 friends total, so, I mean, yes. 5 of them are here.
Yes. Am I included in that?
Of course.
No,
so everyone's here.
I think you got 7 friends.
7 sounds like a good number.
That's all you really need.
That's not true. I shouldn't say that. I'm lucky. I have lots of friends.
You're pregnant with friends. They're about to
oh,
burst.
God. Don't ever say that word to me again. No more.
I never have to worry about children.
1 and done.
0 and done.
They're actually kind of cool. My daughter's the whip, but we're not here to talk about her.
Well, I would probably kill myself if I found out someone was pregnant. I would sue someone if I found out someone was pregnant because they said this vasectomy should keep forever.
Well, yeah, I don't know though. I never know, Skeeter.
No, he made it irreversible. He took out like that much of my vas deferens on both sides.
I mean, that seems like a lot of male junk to take out of the trunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those, so I don't know what it is or what it does.
It's just a tube that brings sperm? Yes, the sperm from the testicles into the semen.
So that's got to result in that sounds scary to me. I feel like that would create like lifelong blue balls.
No, it just soaks back in.
Backs up. Oh, so it's like a washing cycle.
Yeah. It's kind of like when the forest starts, leaves on the ground. Let's get a forest fire in here to get that all out. Except the burning was not leaves. It was them cauterizing my vas deferens. And I could smell it. Are you sure that it's...
Oh.
Because I was awake during the entire thing.
That's horrorcore as fuck.
Yeah. Guys, get a vasectomy. It's horrorcore as hell.
Yeah. You aren't doing horrorcore if you aren't getting a vasectomy and smelling the cauterization.
Yeah. Make sure you are awake during it. They will numb you up. They'll put a little, they put a little gown with a hole in it, and they feed your testicles through so they don't have to work around your deedle. And they cut into both, well, not at the same time, they cut into one side, but they numb it so much, but when they pull on the actual vas deferens to then cut it, you can feel it in your abdomen, and you're like, oh no, I feel my guts moving around.
I don't know why that makes me think of clown scarves, but that's like all I can think of. That's, yeah. Ugh. I may be horrorcore, but that kind of shit grosses me out.
Same. I don't want to see a Saw movie.
Yeah.
One and done with the Saw movies.
They were okay. I prefer my Rob Zombie torture porn to my Saw.
Man, does he love the F word, and not the bad one, the okay one.
Yeah, that is true.
He loves seeing dirty people scream at each other.
Hey, that's a whole genre.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty much pandemic, it seems like. Just a bunch of dirty people screaming at each other.
Well, sometimes it's dirty people screaming at clean people because the clean people want the dirty people to stop being dirty.
Yeah, that's just so judgmental.
Widowmaker Defect.
Oh, Defect.
Says, I want to get a vasectomy. I'm horrorcore as fuck, but I don't want to be awake. I don't know if in different areas they might put you under. I'm doing this to signify a syringe going in. For anyone who is like, why do you keep doing that when you say
I'm pumping my testicles. Yeah, I couldn't speak on that. I didn't get a vasectomy, so.
Speaking of defect, all right, I
Yeah.
have some. So we're gonna take a trip down memory lane. I got
Oh,
some
I'd love that.
flyers.
Oh
This is
my
for,
God.
oh no, it's in reverse. This is Hell on Earth 2005. Who's on this bill? We have Troubled Minds, Makes Sense, Downriver
course.
Rat, Demonic, Wayne Dub, Mental Ward,
Aw.
Dysfunctional Family, also featuring, they weren't even on the record label yet, Wolfpack Nation,
Yeah.
Tech. I don't know who that is. Do you know? TECK?
I don't remember. I can see a face, but I don't remember anything else.
And then there's one that I think is a typo because it's defect, but it's DEFEKT. That doesn't make
No, that's
sense.
how you spell it.
I
That's
know.
how he spells it.
I know.
Fool.
I'm making a joke.
Well,
Also,
you were too deadpan.
I commend horrorcore and a lot of underground rappers. Before the internet existed, they were thinking of SEO, search engine optimization, and they're like, I need to change the spelling of my name so it's easier to find on Spotify. One of the people I produce and engineer, he's one of my good friends here in Chicago, Nick Foster. He goes by Nick period because he's like, hey, it's just Nick, that's done, Nick period. But it's not spelled out on Spotify, like period. I wish it were, because just trying to search Nick then a dot, it just searches Nick.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you gotta.
I mean, it is a good idea for a name, though.
Yeah.
Like, but man, Defect's he was grinding before the internet was a thing.
Oh yeah, and good on him. And then we also,
and does not get the love he deserves, by the way.
He doesn't. I'm
putting it out there right now. Defect does not get the love he deserves. Widowmaker does not get the love it deserves. If you're a horrorcore fan, you should be bumping Defect because he is one of the fucking originators here in Michigan. If you know who Bedlam are, you should know who Defect is. I'm just saying.
Dang it. Oh wait, is that it? No.
Oh, he's looking for something.
Yeah, I was just putting up my CDs. Changing C to K is common in horrorcore. The K is for killer. Ooh.
Yeah. See? He thinks about everything.
I think I was just putting up my CDs because I went to a garage sale and they had a CD case, a holder, and I have too many CDs and they've always just been underneath my desk. So I think it was Birth Defect that I just put up. It's somewhere over here. But
Broken
we also
Mirrors was my shit.
What was that?
Broken Mirrors.
Oh yeah, Broken Mirrors is dope.
Yeah, I love that album. I still love that album. I was actually just bumping some Widowmaker before while I was getting ready. I was bumping Hospital H. So. Yeah.
Just.
I had to get in the horrorcore mindset.
You could have said it was Defect. He's in the chat right now.
Well, Defect knows I listen to his shit. I've told him that plenty of times.
Well,
this is my way of getting them to put out the Hospital H albums.
Oh, like on Spotify and stuff?
Yeah, in like a proper way. People need to hear this shit. I don't care how old Something to Cry About is. That album is sick. It's still sick.
That's why I do this show. It's Unearth the Underground. I'm talking about things that no one can listen to because today's subject, Murder Scene Queen, it isn't available on Spotify.
I went to try to find it on YouTube to re-listen to it, and I couldn't find it. I had to go crack open one of the copies I have upstairs waiting to go on the web store and put it in a CD player and listen to it all the way through. I felt like I was using some ancient technology.
Yeah, it's like I've done...
that one.
Oh. Do you want to... Let me go through a couple more of these flyers.
Let's do that.
Which one did I want to talk about? Oh, yes, this one. This is Murder House Presents The Downriver Rat. We've got Demonic, Wayne Dub, M Theory, Wolfpack Nation, The Muck, and then I will say the last person in just a sec, but this was the record release for Darkness Rising.
Where was that show supposed to be at? What's the venue on that?
It is the Modern Exchange.
Okay. Because right around that time, I think there was one show that was supposed to be a record release that the venue got fucked up. So I wasn't sure if that was the one that had to be like changed and canceled and shit. So
maybe it was, and then
I don't think it was. I think it was a different flyer. Now that I see it,
But there's a weird thing on this. This is things I love. So in like Shaggy Two Dope's Fuck the Fuck Off, there was an advertisement for the Tempest, but it was the wrong date. It was like, it got pushed back
Yeah.
very far. Also in Comatoses In the Sin of Man, I think, there is an advertisement for another solo album he was going to do that was more hip hop. I forget the name of it. And then also in like Cryptic's Seven Tales of from the Beyond, the like advertisements for CDs that never came out.
Yeah.
Same goes for this. It is called 4
Oh, wow.
After 20 or 20 After 4.
20
I'm
After
reading
4.
it backwards. It was called The Smokers EP. I don't think that ever came out.
I don't remember that ever coming out.
Unless it was like a MySpace release.
I don't think it was. Because that was for Darkness Rising, you said?
Yes.
I think that was River Rat's last solo album, was Darkness Rising. So I don't remember 20 After 4 ever coming out. But we did like a lot of Murder Mob stuff later on after that, and so like that took up a lot of people's time and stuff.
Like the 2008 Hell on Earth, or 2008 Hell on Earth EP. Oh boy, was that a Murder Mob CD if it ever was one.
Yeah, that was like like the Murder Mob that most people know, with like all 15 of us or whatever it was. Like that was the original like Murder Mob. And what a lot of people don't know is that the actual original Murder Mob has people that aren't even rappers in it, that aren't even on the scene. Like if you remember Stu, he's part of the Murder Mob. Leatherman.
Stu once came to Chicago, and when he left my apartment, somehow there was a bucket full of sand in my couch. Don't know how he got that in there, but it happened.
Man, Stu can do some crazy shit. He's an enigma. He can do shit that you're like, what the fuck?
He went to the beach, and then I don't understand why he did this. He slept on my couch with shoes on, and I'm like, never did I tell you that you needed to leave your shoes on. Why
never did anyone tell him they weren't going to fuck with him while he was asleep. And if you take your shoes off in our camp, you gonna be fucked with. Oh. So that's a safe haven for making sure that you don't wake up with a dick on your face.
What? With your feet?
Well, yeah, because once you take your shoes off, that says I'm fucked up, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm out. But if you leave your shoes on, it's like a loophole that says don't fucks with me. I still got my shoes on, so I'm not complete. I might get back up.
Then I guess I wasn't projecting the correct sweet boy vibe that I give off. Is like, no one messes with anyone when they go to sleep at my apartment.
I don't think it was you he was probably worried about, though. It was probably the Murder Mob members that because I don't know who he came out there with. I can assume it was, maybe Tim Kenny, Demonic, or Toxic, Wiki K, Demonic.
None of them have been here. I keep trying to get them to come, but no. It was Brad, and then
Demonic.
Yeah, I don't think this was the time Phil came, because both of them have come over. They were on Mostly Speaking Sentai talking about Los Luchadores. It was a great time.
Anytime there's a wrestling conversation, best believe that we'll be bringing the funk.
Yeah.
That man knows more about wrestling than anybody I've ever known.
But let's get the last person billed on here besides the and more. I wonder who that and more was. It was probably, as always, unfortunately, you and NDC. Yeah, I'm throwing shade at everyone writing up the marquees.
We paid some dues for sure. But I mean, myself and NDC, we were the ones that were strictly KYP. Like we went through some hazing.
I constantly, when I did music with Deep Swish, they would always have me on shows with them because we were like intertwined, and they would say like, oh, it's going to be Deep Swish and Marshland Monster every single time. Tickets, marquee, whatever. Deep Swish, Marshland Monster, nowhere to be seen.
That's all right. That's just more of a surprise when you come out on stage.
Yeah, people would always be like, who are you? What are you? And I was like, hey, a good rapper. That's what and who. But
nobody forgets NDC once they see him either.
Yeah.
So
some people are scared when they see them. Me, I was scared of them. The last person on this is Doughboy. If you remember him,
oh, I do.
he is the person one time on AIM said, "Hey man, remember a couple months ago when you're like, there needs to be more women in horrorcore? That I don't know why I don't see any." KYP just added a woman to the roster under the name LYSSA CER. Here's the MySpace link,
I'll be
and
damned.
that is how that's how you were announced to me.
I never knew that. I was thinking about that when I was listening through and like telling my husband about, how you and I know each other and how far back we go and everything. I was kind of wondering like man, I don't really know how Skeeter stumbled upon all of us, but that's dope. Like that's cool to know. Doughboy was a sick fucking rapper. He was
Yeah.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I still have a lot of his unreleased stuff in my email that was like, why isn't this released?
You
But
got to have a treasure trove of shit. You got stuff I don't have.
There's a hard drive that I need someone to fix. Like, it doesn't turn on anymore. Like, even plugging it into like an external, like, make this hard drive external.
Right.
So I need to bring it to a professional in order to do that. But he's the one who, he's like, hey, I'm on a show. I know you like horrorcore. I'm on a show with this person, Downriver Rat and Troubled Minds. I think you'd really like them. And he's the reason why I'm into you guys.
That's crazy. And it's crazy to think that you and I at the time lived like less than 10 miles from each other. And I came up with your cousins and shit. Like Adam and Joe were my homies growing up. So this is such a small town. And for you to find us that way it's cool. It's serendipitous, if you will.
I still remember the time where I thought you were going to just like shut off your computer and like never talk to me, because I was like, hey, on AIM, hey, do you know someone named Adam McCullum? And you're like, yes. And I thought you were like, oh, this person is a stalker. And I was like, my name's James McCullum. He's my cousin. He was flipping through photo albums and you were in it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my, my circle of friends in high school were Adam and Joe and, a bunch of other kids in like the Mona Shores area and shit. But yeah, that I spent many a night drunk, passed out on Kendra's couch. Many a night in her backyard drinking with everybody.
My circle of friends were in high school a 25-year-old woman and a 23-year-old man who took me out of high school to go across the state.
I was telling my husband about that. I was like, yeah, he was our friend. Like, it didn't matter. He was, younger than us or whatever. Like, you were just a cool kid.
Hell yeah.
And I wouldn't have let you in my motherfucking house if I thought you were a little weirdo.
Oh, so. Yeah. I naturally think, or not naturally, I regularly think about this because I've told people the story about like me hitchhiking and all of that to across state. Famously, Brian Duff, a very funny comedian from IO, and if you have trauma now, check out Wheelchair Werewolf. He is the titular Wheelchair Werewolf from that trauma release.
Sounds like my kind of thing.
He in the Morph Bots, that's how we got familiar with him. He, after hearing these stories, I believe he called me the Jack Kerouac of dumb shit. And
oh, I wish I would have thought of that at the time, because that's true. I wanted to kill you when I found that out. Because remember that time I found you running across the highway? Yeah, you did do dumb shit like that, and it was like, are you kidding? Just call a motherfucker. We'll drive you across state. You don't have to hitchhike. Well, someone's gonna steal your skinny little ass.
I thank you for calling me skinny. You know I have body dysmorphia. Actually, I don't know if you know that.
I don't know that.
It's terrible. Thank you, mother and sibling of mine that called me fat as a child. You live
okay. If you're fat, I'm. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about what I am if you're fat. So moving on for both of us, you're beautiful, skinny and beautiful.
But I remember the reason you would not bring me to those shows because you were like, oh, we can't, which makes sense. You are adults. Like, you can't be responsible for me.
Yeah.
Like, if something were to happen to me, that is on you guys, and you have to answer to my parents. But
once we met them, it was a whole different story. Like, they approved of it. They were totally fine with it. Like, they got to know us.
Hmm.
So, that made it a different ball game. And you endeared yourself to me, at least, very, very quickly. And you know how standoffish I can be. So
Thank you. Because I'm a little scamp.
you are.
Uh,
That is the perfect word for it. I was trying to come up with a word earlier, and that is perfect. You are a little scamp.
uh,
You're like a little ball of energy scamp.
I so the thing with my parents is like it was crazy that they were especially with the history with my two other siblings had with hanging out with like the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
They saw you guys, my parents saw you and Demonic, and they were like, "Oh, these two people are responsible adults.
Yeah.
One's like a college grad, went to law school. They can't
College
be
professor.
terrible people." So
Yeah.
them knowing that I wasn't like I would come home reeking of cigarettes and weed. Maybe the cigarettes like overpowered the weed, but
But they knew we weren't going to let you do anything. Not me. I wouldn't have. I'd have whooped your ass myself.
oh, I mean the other person in that equation regularly not out of just out of muscle
Habit.
memory would
Habit, yeah.
pass the joint to me,
Mhm.
and I'd be like, I don't even know how to like how I should grab this to pass it to Amy. I don't I have no
Firmly.
idea.
Firmly between treat it like
Well, it's like because it's so once it gets down so tiny, how do I get around the ashed area?
yeah, it's a talent you develop over time.
But
No,
let's
we took good care of you.
let's
And you took good care of us.
hey, there
It's all family.
I want to someday make a like remix album called I Apologize for the Bad Beats I Gave My Friends, where I update beats because I have most of the vocals for a lot of the songs that KYP did over my beats and just like make new ones that actually sound good or at least sound good to me.
I was gonna say to sound good to you because I was listening through Murder Scene Queen, which I love the production on, but like Gorlor was a whole different ball game, and it was because you produced most of it. Like we made a good team there making music together.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Was not searching for a compliment. Focus,
No, I know
camera.
I know you weren't, but it's the truth. Like, you know what I mean? That album, I know we're gonna talk about Murder Scene Queen today, but Gorlor making Gorlor was special because it was, you know, you were like my connection. You know what I mean? Like you came from my hometown. So to like have that production and have Stitches there recording it so often and you when he wasn't there, like it was
when he
it was a
wasn't
cool
there
experience.
Plowing my sister.
Well, he plowed everybody's sister. He plowed everybody's sister.
One of the best interactions we ever had was like you guys, Sick and Shameless came out, and then they're like, "Oh, you guys were like, oh, how do you like the CD?" I was like, "Oh, I love all of it. You know, Dirty Little Killer I don't like," and you guys were like, "That one's one of our favorites." Why? I was like, "Hey, he's just like realistically talking about having sex with women," and I was like, "I know he had sex with my sister, and I don't know," and then you guys looked at me like, oh my God, he knows. And I think you guys might have thought like, is that why he left KYP? And I was like, oh no.
I mean, I never thought that was why. I just figured, I mean, you told us why you left KYP and you never really left per se. You just had other shit that you were working on and different paths you were taking. It was more of a, it put all of us in a weird situation. And then we had all been in, like, you know what I mean? Like Jeff was a scam. He's a little slut. So, but you know what I mean? But to us, it was just that was just who he was. But we didn't usually have to answer for it to someone we actually cared about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My sister told me the day after it happened.
Oh God.
But I did like, I don't like talking about my own sexual proclivities. So like to talk about someone else's, I'm very uncomfortable with.
Right.
So I wasn't going to be like, hey guys, guess what? Jeff's like my brother-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah. This conversation's icky.
Well, let's get into something not icky. Murder Scene Queen.
Oh God.
Released on maybe a horror fest.
maybe.
I
I
think
want to say it was 2007.
Yeah, I think it was
Horror
Horror
Fe-
Fest 2007 because Horror
Yeah.
Fest 2008, I believe, is when I was signed, joined KYP,
Yeah.
and I have one of two special editions of this CD. Who else? Do you know who has the other special edition?
No, because I don't even know what the special edition is. You're gonna have to show me.
Okay, so I cannot show you on stream because it would be like me showing a
Oh,
snuff film.
right. No, that one, the top of the CD art was different, wasn't it?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
Klebold and Harris.
Yes, that's what it was.
I don't know who
Yeah.
I have.
I don't know who has. I may have had the other one, and it's lost now.
No, Shroomy has the other.
See, you know shit that I don't even. That's what I was worried about. He's gonna tell me shit that I should know that I don't know. That's dope, though. If there were gonna be any fans, any people who had the special editions, I mean, I can think of maybe one other person that it'd be like, oh, it'd be cool if he had it because he would appreciate it. But really, you two and Jenna Newman, who's not with us anymore, unfortunately, who passed away. But you three were like my first real fans. You know what I mean? And like, so that, 15 years later, almost that's dope. I like that.
I bet I think Murky was or Creepy Crawlin' was the maybe the first two that you released. Maybe
Creepy Crawlin' was the first. That Creepy Crawlin' was the first rap song I ever recorded.
Okay, man.
So
I was like, this is dope. It's great. But there is a special message in here as well. Do you want me to read it?
Oh, you might as well.
All right. It says,
I have
James,
no shame.
To my first hometown fan, stay cool. I'm kidding.
Oh,
It does not say.
I was
going to
say that doesn't sound like something I'd write. That does not sound like me.
I was like, oh, it's a yearbook. That's the joke. It says, thank you so much for all the support and love. You've got talent, kid. Never stop doing what you do. Keep it. Underscored 3 times. Too fucking sick. Heart, LYSSA CER, KYP.
That sounds like something I would write. That's insane. That's cool that you still have that.
Of course, I'm always gonna have this.
That's okay. It's shit I don't even have though. Like, I love it.
Let's. I wanna air some dirt right now. I wanna do some dirty laundry. Production by Big K, PG-13, and River Rat. What was Tim so busy with? Tim is toxic from Troubled Minds for people who are unaware of that.
Well, to be let's see, when was that time period? I mean, Tim was, I'm assuming that he was working on Troubled Minds stuff. I mean, the MHR roster at that time was
bloated.
Absurdly huge. Yeah, you had Troubled Minds, Demonic, Wayne Dove, Downriver Rap, Mental Ward, Wolfpack Nation, he who we do not speak his name, Doughboy
is what I would call.
I mean, I can think of one person that was the bloat, but I mean,
I'm the person who can't be named is who I'm calling the bloat.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Whew.
But yeah, I mean, at that point, the Murder House roster had, what was it, like 9 or 10 acts, I think 15 or 16 total artists. It was insane. And Toxic was doing a lot of the production for a lot of them. I mean, obviously BK did stuff for Mental Ward, PG did stuff for Wolfpack, but he had a huge roster that he was dealing with at that time. And plus, like, I mean, it's, I went to the people that, I mean, there was a lot of skepticism when I started.
Boo, two thumbs down.
Well, and at the time I would have said the same thing, but with some insight and some age on me, I mean, that there was every right for there to be skepticism. I mean, all we had at that point were female artists who, basically came out with their pussies hanging out of their skirts and had no musical talent whatsoever. So to have, someone's girlfriend come in and say, I want to rap. I mean, if I had been them, I'd have been, a little sketchy too. So, I think that for, the early years, there was still some of that residual, like, I needed to prove myself. And I did that. And I tell you what, if I went to Toxic for a beat now, he'd have my back.
Yeah, because you've proven yourself time and
Mhm.
time again, and you're constantly singing on their hook. So if he didn't, you could say like, "Hey,
Well,
come on,
that's
man."
an honor. I mean, that's an honor to me, though. Quite frankly, I mean that was those were cool moments when they
Oh,
asked me to get on those tracks.
yeah, like when Brad asked or Demonic asked me to engineer all of Something Murderous. Super
Yeah,
excited when the Since '99. The Toxic said like,
yeah,
"Hey, would you like to remix one of our songs?" I was like,
yeah,
"Yeah, man."
yeah. Because I mean, I was they had been doing their thing for like 4 years when I came into the crew, but things really picked up not long after I started coming around, and so I watched them as a fan for a long time.
When did they? I just can't ever remember. When did they
90
start?
They started in 99. The first Hell on Earth was in 2003.
I know it's '99. I
You idiot.
it's brought up a lot. That's why,
Well, because it's
especially
a
on this
long
album.
time.
On this album, it's Murder Scene Queen. I was gonna do that joke when it's brought up on Murder Scene Queen, but I was like, nah, I can do it right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I said that. I do say that. It was I mean that's a big deal though.
Yeah,
That's
nine
22 years now at this point.
man. That's as that record label can drink.
Yeah,
Focus, camera.
it's drunk too. It can drink now as
Oh
well.
no. Well, let's begin this, and
Yeah.
we're gonna start out with one that's my first note is something that I'm assuming the it being hectic for many reasons. One, you were talking. There's a lot of people in this group between Murder House, KYP, and BO Dub.
Bo Dub.
There
Yeah.
was a bunch of people to look
Hmm.
after, and the fact that you are in on the west side of Michigan, having to
Right.
travel to the east side. So
Yeah.
I think maybe this album, if it was like, hey, this is going to be a Horror Fest release, was it
It was
somewhat?
rushed.
Yes, it was rushed,
Yeah.
and you
Oh
can
yeah.
tell in the mix quality with
Yeah.
vocals,
Yeah.
which
No, it's inconsistent for
mhm.
sure. Because even listening to it today, I think it was Dollhouse came on, and I was like, why is that so much lower than Murder
Oh,
Scene
yep,
Queen?
yeah,
And I feel like a couple of the tracks got mixed in New Mexico, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, there were River Rat did some, I think. It's been so long, I don't remember who did most of the engineering, but it was rushed, and and that was on my end. Like
hmm
I wanted to get an album out and show that I was serious about this, and because I had like been signed, I think it was a year earlier, and it was so there was it's not as Gorelore has like a very clear beginning, middle, and end.
hmm
It's like a very clear story, which is just kind of the vibe I always go with. This one, there's a story there, but you just can't. It's really hard to like discern that
yeah.
narrative.
Up until probably the end, like
Hmm.
the end has a clear narrative,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. The end song. There was a lot of thought that went into that one, and like that was one of the first concepts I had for a song, though. So that it had a lot to do with it.
mhm.
I think.
But for a rushed album, it kicks ass.
The first thing I wrote down when I was listening to it, like it was like the first, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds of Murder Scene Queen, I said, I wasn't a total fucking schmuck. Like, because the last time I listened to part of this album, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I ever sounded like that. But like listening to it now and like thinking about, all the shit I've done since then, like the seeds of the style that I do and, my particular cadence and all that shit, they're all planted on this album.
hmm and then one quick question, or I have two quick things. One, would you have changed if you could go back in time? Would you have been like, hey, I'm gonna buy a microphone, gonna buy the Behringer Z9, whatever the heck that I'm looking at right now? It's the one that was recorded Gorelord on.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Oh
at it right
God.
now. That's
I'm
where.
looking at the mixer, the Behringer mixer, that little one that we had. It's over there
Mhm.
on the shelf.
Would
Um,
you have changed doing that, or like keeping it collaborative, going banking 3 songs every single weekend and then driving back to Muskegon?
I mean, I think that I would keep it as it is because that, you know, spending those 12, 14, 16-hour sessions in the studio over a weekend and have like working with so many people because I mean, you would go to the studio and there would never ever be less than a half dozen people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you'd have Outlaw and PG because we usually went to their house to record. So you'd have Outlaw and PG. You'd probably have maybe Doughboy or Wayne Dub. We'd usually have, you know, 2 or 3 people riding with us, you know, maybe River Rat and BK and Stitch or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whoever. So there were always like people to learn from, people to play off of, people to very clearly let you know when something didn't work.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like a finishing school to like, you know, you hear music, and if you're like you or I, like you pick up on it, you connect to it, you understand how it works and you know how to do it. But that was kind of like it's like a singer who takes vocal training.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd change anything. And some of the collabs were, to me, the one. I mean, think of Mercu. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mercu never would have happened if we hadn't recorded like that.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even supposed to be for my album. That was just a song we all did together, and they were nice enough to let me put it on there.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that has Chris's verse on that, I think, is one of the best ones he's ever done.
I agree wholeheartedly. Listening to it today, like I'm not ashamed to admit that I like teared up a little bit, like that. And I wrote down like performing that because him and I were like always paired together for whatever reason on the 16s. Anytime we performed that, I loved doing it because he always had that energy and like that verse is sick. Like
he also had a rhyme style that does not make sense, but it works.
It works and it hits so hard, and it's like a weird blend of like West Coast, East Coast, Michigan acid rap, you know, and his like own thing. There never was and never will be another MC like TC. Mm-hmm. He's totally underrated.
And I got one more question, or it's something to think of while you're listening to this, and you might already have it in your mind. First, I want you. We'll rank the best and the worst song at the end.
Okay.
But we're gonna play a game called "This Song Did Not Age Well." There is one specific song on this album that I think did not age well, and when we get to it at the end, I will say it. But when you if you're like, oh, this song did not age well, and I think everyone
now I'm looking like
it's.
I mean, I can probably guess which one it is, but
probably because it's the only one that's not about murder and stuff. That's like, hey guys,
there was a reason. Yeah, and that song has a backstory that we won't go too deeply into, but there was a reason that song was there.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, calm down. Maybe not shout at these, for lack of a better term, children.
Yeah, no.
Okay, yes, we are thinking of the same song.
Did not age well, perhaps, but
in the moment you were feeling it. But let's get into track 1 of Murder Scene Queen.
All right.
Entitled Murder Scene Queen. Let me get this going. Chat, please let me know if this is too loud or not loud enough. Amy, if you want to pause, just go.
Okay.
All right. Practice right now. You're okay. All right. That's a pause. All right. Well, let's play it.
All right. This beat still hits.
It's I also know the exact sound font that was used for these.
Of course you do.
For the strings.
On the red carpet, new bitch on the market. If you got a heartbeat, you might be my next target. See, I don't take kindly to many kinds of people, like the kind who Bible thump underneath their church steeples. Take your propaganda out my face, about to catch a murder case. Grab the fucker by his neck, gonna desecrate this holy place. Begs for grace as I remove his eyeballs, replace them with
voice
from a mirror on the crypt
walls.
Jesus won't get a holy rest. resurrection when you reach the pearly gates. All you'll get is a rejection, aided the infection of the people in your flock. Judge the innocence is damned, there's salvation. You mock time to get acquainted with the steel of my block. I press it to your pelvic bone, shoot through your cock, rip through the remaining muscle, turn you on your fat gut.
That nice little shoot noise.
I think this was a PG beat, that would be why.
Will be obscene with my crazy blood. Lost the too sick is what I bring. KYP's my home, and I'm running with the horror king. The murder scene queen.
And I apologize to listeners, it's being forced into mono because that's the only way we could do this. No one knows.
It's underground. It's underground.
Classification adding to my aggravation is the dirty gut of mouth. Bitches testing what's left on my patience facing these.
I remember hearing this for the first time when I think it was performed that night, and I was like,
This is one of the songs that I was pleased with at the time.
gonna turn
I still
this.
like it.
Oh,
Still like it
me
now.
too.
Wait for screams, now the time's right to sew her cunt up tight. Damn, bitches, central night, breathing slight. The pain is killing you from inside. Gotta make sure I deliver the blow that takes your life. Slash off your loopy droopy tits, slut from the sternum to the clit. Blood spurts all over me, dark red, hot and thick. Guess that'll be the last time you gain some frame from sucking dick. Should've had some self-respect. I told you, bitch, I'm too sick. Bitch, bow down to the murder scene.
Can I ask you a real quick question?
Sure.
Why were you so angry?
When I was listening through, I was like, man, I make it sound like I hate dick. Like, that's the one thing I would change. I would not talk about castration so much. There are so many other viable options.
But
like,
I think it was a good, like, hey, no one else is talking about this. Like, none of the men are talking about cutting off dick.
right. And that's a lot of what it was. It was, the female equivalent of rape, essentially. Like, it took a little while to get comfortable talking about doing that as a female rapper. You know what I mean? So it was kind of the equivalent.
I don't like whenever I do horrorcore, I don't discuss the R word. It's always I am impotent and the knife is doing the work. That's the kind of stuff horrorcore rappers look at some people who actually murder, figure out why they murder, and just do that.
No, it's the truth. But then some of us, we talk about it as a, it's a healing device.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of taking, like, at least for me, I'm not scared to say that now. Like, a lot of the shit I talk about was ways to, work through my own traumas and shit. We horrorcore rappers are a lot deeper than people give us credit for.
Some.
I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Always the diplomat.
No, absolutely not.
I know. That's true.
I feel like the horrorcore scene does not like me, has never embraced me. And I love because I can, like, talk so much shit, but in a jokey way and in such a detailed way that it's like, oh, this person isn't like some random person hating on ICP. And it's like, oh, well, you've never listened to ICP.
You know your horrorcore history and you know your artists. And
I was on the Kill Music forums.
I was going to say, I saw that Kill Music shirt before we even went on air, and I was like, oh my God, speaking of old school.
Quick, what was this dude's name? Polt Art? Is that the artist who did? Okay, I'm trying to find him again. Like, I don't think he's on Instagram or anything.
I feel like he might be on my Instagram.
Okay.
Oh, no, maybe I'm thinking of Ketsa.
Okay, well, shout out to Polt Art, whatever they're doing.
Oh God.
So
he was
amazing.
Sick. Mm-hmm.
Focus, please. All right, let's get back to this album.
All right.
Challenge my reign and your death will be obscene with my crazy blood. Lost the too sick is what I bring. KYP's my home, and I'm running with the horror king. The murder scene queen is here to stay. Make a mistake, step on my toes, I'm forcing you out my way. Fuck with me, won't live to see another day. I torture, kill, 6 feet down, you will be laid. So many fucks on my nuts, and I ain't even got a pair. Hound dogging me constantly, you completely unaware.
I like this song because it has a nice... Each verse is about a specific subgroup.
Yeah, it was focused. But it was, I had inspiration for it. It wasn't all abstract when I started. Like, I had specific people in mind when I wrote those verses.
First verse, the savior himself, Jesus.
Well, it was growing up in an independent Baptist church.
Yeah. Second verse.
The like half dozen bitches that decided they wanted to rap after I came onto the scene in the Detroit area, that was for them.
Okay. I was gonna say Paris Hilton when she started DJing. And
That's a great analogy, actually. That's perfect.
if she's actually, I hear she's very good.
I've actually heard the same thing. The people I'm talking to in that verse were not.
Yeah. And then the I think the third verse was specifically about me.
No.
I was riding your nuts hard.
Yeah, but you swung from him like a cute little monkey.
A little scampy monkey.
Yeah, other people, they were like hyenas with a fucking zebra carcass. I would take that little monologue off the end of that song. That's another thing I would change.
Oh, wow. Nicole just said, how much longer do you have?
Oh.
Hey, Nicole, you can come in and ask me questions.
Come say hi.
Nicole, Amy wants you to come say hi.
LYSSA, hey, don't first name me.
Oh, shoot. I've been doing that.
I know.
Okay, LYSSA CER wants you to come say hi, Nicole. She might be in the other side of the apartment, and she cannot hear me. This apartment's huge.
You're just yelling to air.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I hope she's not like, this needs to get done quickly.
Right? How long have we been doing this already?
An hour, and we're just getting into...
I was going to say, we just started.
Yeah, we just started. Nicole sent she's hungry. Nicole, eat without me. I think she can hear me.
We gonna be a minute.
Yeah. Let's get into the next song then.
Yeah.
This one is Dollhouse. And okay, before we get into this, it's about dolls. What is the coolest and the most rare living dead girl? Is that what they're called?
Living dead doll.
What's the coolest one you've ever had? Or you own, and the rarest one you own?
The rarest one I own is I have a Jack and Jill set. So they came in like body bags, this Jack and Jill combo, and you had to open the body bags, and there were either 25 or 75 out of the I think it was 500. That
eat without me.
Enjoy your din. But no, it was so you open up the body bag, and like 25 or 75 out of the 500 were blood splattered, and they glow in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I ended up getting one of the glow in dark blood splatter ones. So that's the rarest one I have, and my favorite is probably Hazel and Hattie, which are the conjoined twins.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
If you ever, and I mean, it's a select few who would have went to the old recording studio that you had that like during the Gore Lord days. It was just a single room before there was any recording equipment. The only thing that was in this room was just on a wall. It's not like a tiny wall, a very long wall, just all of these living dead dolls. And I was like, this is so cool.
There were books behind all those living dead dolls. So it was filled with books and dolls.
Damn. It was cool.
It was a cool room.
You guys, if you never saw that, have FOMO.
That was a cool room.
That
was a cool studio.
And speaking of which, what was that?
It got so hot up there, though.
Yeah.
That room was like a sauna.
Like this one.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's part of the game, though. If you're not sweating, you're not doing horrorcore.
Nicole will see me after, and she's like, wow, that shirt is like darker than usual. It's like, no, it's sweat, like it's just all wet now. And she's like, oh, it looks like you got out of a pool.
It's like, no, I'm just moist.
Yeah, because I record in a walk-in closet.
A sweat box, yeah.
All right, let's get into Dollhouse, featuring an up-and-comer, I would say.
Yeah, she's a newbie on the scene. The queen.
It's fading out, and then it's going to get into... Oh, yeah, there's a long tail at the end of the... And speaking of songs that are much quieter than other ones.
This one for sure.
You didn't have that luff volume loudness equalization stuff that is in new Adobe Auditions.
Yeah.
You guys were still
Yeah,
rocking Cool Edit Pro.
Well, I recorded on Adobe.
But no, but wait, even because I remember us using Cool Edit Pro. It's such
Happy
a
little beat.
Yeah, it's there's a I hear people like whoever made this must like John Carpenter because he does the same kind of stuff where it is it's the
bells.
The bells in one octave, then the next movement it's the same melody up an octave.
I can't remember who made this beat, to tell you the truth.
Based on hi-hats alone.
I think it was River Rat.
Yeah. But I think the string, like the like the lower one, kind of has a little bit of a BK.
It does, but this isn't. It's too simple to be. You know what I mean? There's not enough weird dropouts and ends.
And there's no rolling snare, so it can't be a PG-13.
No, it doesn't have that gangster edge to it.
I remember you guys explaining River Rat stuff as his hi-hats sound like little laser beams.
Yeah, they did. It's crazy to think that this song was pretty much like the birth of the Dead Girls and the Manson Theory. And
this song needs to be cranked a little more.
That high-pitched.
Yeah.
Welcome to my dollhouse.
Welcome everybody to my lovely dead dollhouse. Even Mr. Eddie Gein would be so proud. I find sluts, bring them home and drag them down the hall.
The mixing on her vocals very good for 2006.
I feel like this song was one of the ones mixed in New Mexico.
Okay.
Chair and cut her inside out, finger fuck her stomach as the blood comes gushing out her mouth. Wow, you're a lot prettier when you're dead.
There's a content warning on here on the stream, just in case someone stumbles upon this.
Right. Surprise! Every time I hear this song, I can't help but think of that mashup video that Chuck Unwin did with the CSI.
Yeah, I was going to bring that same thing up.
That is one of the coolest things, even now. That is one of the coolest things that like a fan of the music has ever done. That was so gangster.
None of my fans have really done anything cool. Besides podcast fans. They're the Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast that I had. Someone made up like a horror movie poster with the three, like me and the two other hosts, and it was badass.
That's cool.
And then C, our fan from South America, she's done a lot of fan art as well.
That's the coolest thing when that happens. When people used to take pictures and like send them, or like fan art and stuff, or like recently someone hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm going to an underground wrestling show, and I'm going to send you a couple Cult Fiction T-shirts like that." It's like, damn, like just to be thought of, you know what I mean? It's especially after all these years and shit. It's turns my black little heart.
Fans have sent me Beyblades, and fans have sent me vitamins because they know I'm very malnourished.
Oh, see, they care. That's care. That's true love.
They're like, yeah, James, you need to be like eating better. But now I take children's vitamins. I just take 2 at a time because I'm a big boy.
I'm a big kid now.
But they're cheaper than big boy medicine.
Hell yeah, I take Flintstone vitamins. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I take the Kroger brand. I can't afford.
You're not fancy like that.
I can't afford that.
I splurge on.
I make like $50 a week.
That's $50 more than I make right now.
What?
Oh, I stepped back from teaching over a year ago.
Oh, dang. Now you're teaching the listeners about Murder Scene
I am.
Queen.
I am, and teaching my daughter how to be a badass.
Speaking of which, actually, this is not a speaking of which. It's nothing related to being
Okay.
a mother. I had this discussion with Nicole. There's no other place I can ask it. It's on because there was a bunch of Yogi Bear stuff, Hanna-Barbera. Who do you think would win in a fight? Pink Panther or Snagglepuss?
I would probably go with Snagglepuss.
All right. And now the real question. Which one's the better kisser?
Pink Panther.
Oh, man, we were flipped. I would say Pink Panther would win in the fight, but Snagglepuss, he's the good kisser.
Nah, I don't know.
He's like, hey,
Pink Panther.
Murgatroyd.
You
want actually?
I'm not gonna go there.
He would be the best recipient. He would be like very appreciative of the kiss. And I
feel like Snagglepuss would be the premier ass eater.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He loves munching down on some brown eye. It's fun, guys.
Tasting straight into the soul.
It's good. What's the next? Is this creepy crawling?
It is.
Ooh.
It is. Recorded on the shittiest equipment ever.
What? You weren't on the AKG Perception 120?
Whatever that first set of equipment was that we had in Grand Haven. This was recorded in Grand Haven.
Whoa.
We weren't even in.
That's news to me.
Yeah, we weren't even in Muskegon yet. BK and a couple other people were up visiting us, and this was actually my tryout song for KYP.
Oh, trying out for stuff.
I had to try out. They made me try out.
You said I sang on High on Death.
Yeah,
I've
they didn't
earned
care.
my stripes.
Nope, didn't matter.
I made that song, is what you should have said.
I mean, I had 2 out of the 3 at the time. There were 3 owners of KYP. At the time, I had 2 out of the 3 support. And obviously, BK was way on board because he jumped on the track.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this was my tryout song. We recorded it in like in our apartment, we had like one of those areas, like a dining room that's like right off the kitchen. And then it's all open living room. Yeah, we recorded it in that dining room area. So this is really old school.
I think though I used to call those 3 owners the trio of horror.
They used to call themselves the trio of terror, I believe.
The only place you could listen to that stuff, I believe, was on MySpace.
MySpace
no longer has those songs.
No, I might have them somewhere, but they'd be on a hard drive that needs to be looked at. Yeah.
Downloading too much hentai, guys. That's why mine broke. All right, let's get to creepy crawling.
Oh, man.
I'll turn this up.
This is a BK beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those strings.
I know the sound font that violin is as well.
Not surprised.
My guess is they sent me sound fonts, and then I was like, oh, this is what they used.
It's possible.
Let me introduce myself, I'm the sickest bitch on the murder scene. When it comes to bloody torture, best believe I'm a fucking fiend. Decapitation, mass devastation, when I'm blazing you like green. Scream salvation in frustration as your limbs become cuisine. By the time I'm done, the Holocaust will look like a barbecue. Slicing through your neck, got you wishing you were a wartime Jew. Mayhem is without any clue, cause KYP's my fucking crew. My brain is askew, I thought you knew I specialize in the sickest taboos. Thought that I was finished, shit, I'm just getting started, son. Brace yourself for torment as I ass rape you with my gun. Ripping off skin, I'm jamming it in. Who'd have thought that murder could be so fun? Try to stop me, won't ever top me. LYSSA CER won't be outdone. Steadily mobbing.
I would like to say something real quick. Fantastic rhyme schemes.
Oh, thank you.
When you do the AAB stuff, I like it. I like the internal rhymes. Personally, I like to do an ABCDFG, ABCDFG, but, that's me.
And that's way too complicated for my, reptilian simple brain. But
Also, probably not worth it because no one ever notices. I do too much, okay, guys? But it makes it fun. It makes it
does.
fun.
It's complex.
And especially for if this was your first, hey, this is what I'm trying out with, even to not do like A, B, or like an A, B, B, that, I mean, it plagues horrorcore today still. Guys,
But
have a little
I
fun.
have a background in English lit.
Yeah. Hey.
And that helps. Like all the poetry and like all that shit, you know, that really did make a difference.
At least you didn't go into prose poetry. I'll smack a prose poet. Their hoes know it.
Prose hoes.
I have a one-sided beef with prose poets.
I was gonna say, you got aggressive there.
It's a constant thing, and people are like, no one gives a shit, James. Speaking to my friends who are not into literature at all. And I'm like,
we're a rare breed.
But hey, fantastic.
Thank you.
Rhyme schemes on that. I first noticed it to like yesterday or today when I was listening to it. I was like, oh, this is great. But let's get into the next verses.
Through the dark, you know that hell's about to start. Cause we're leaving our mark, feel the beats of your heart. Craving, crawling, stalking our prey.
This is so like this is a punk rock hook.
Yeah, it was before I understood how to project my voice.
Helter Skelter's coming at the end of the day. Steady creeping with the murder mob in the late night hours. Stabbing wounds, squirting up our love blood showers. Leaving pigs must die on the motherfucking wall. Vicious strangle anyone in that cave in a stall. I'm out of control, like another late night murder spree. Ooh, for the killers, Big K, LYSSA SOD, some KYP shit. From skin slit, from the jugular vein down to the clit. Your dome gets hit, your head gets cracked. If your bitch keeps screaming that she's gonna get slapped, it's when we drag it down to the motherfucking crib. Kids strangling fetuses, so I know they get sense. Steadily mobbing through the dark, you know that hell's about to start. Cause we're leaving our mark, feel the beats of your heart. Craving, crawling, stalking.
There, a quick thing. There was I made a beat for Troubled Minds, and I did this thing where like the second, like when it's fading, like the second chorus that gets attached to the end at the end of the song, the drum they cut out for a half a beat, then or a half a bar, then they come back in, and then it like keeps going in and out, and then the last two they kick back in, and he's like, man, I really like what you did there. It sounds great. And I was like, I learned that from you guys, you jackass. Like I'm literally using a technique you guys used.
That's why they liked it.
But this kind of has that flair, so that's why that popped in my head.
BK, I mean, he watched, Toxic and all of them a lot, but I mean, he was making beats before they were even on Murder House, but.
Through the dark, you know that hell's about to start. Cause we're leaving our mark, feel the beats of your heart. Creeping, crawling, Helter Skelter's coming at the end of the day.
He comes in so hard. BK does.
And I'll talk about it after.
He's another one like TC that's got that like unique, like he ends in places that feel like it shouldn't sound right, but it sounds so much doper than what, Yeah,
and
it's just so sick.
You saying like, oh, he comes in so hard on this. I believe there was the original mix didn't have that like 4-bar buildup, and I'm guessing you guys put that in because it's like, oh, he's coming as if it's the hook. That's how hard he is coming into that, and I'm guessing that was intentional.
BK mixed that track, and I think that's why it has that extra little bit at the front, because he was able to add that in post-production.
You got to get it in post, guys. And all editors love to hear that. I love hearing that when Nicole says it, hey, we can get it in post. And I was like, please just talk normal. Don't whisper on a podcast. It makes it harder, guys. This next one is called Gutter Mouths. Let's figure out what this one's about.
Couldn't begin to imagine.
I'm a little scamp, guys. And again, let me know if we need to turn this up at all.
So bendable and flexible, thinking that you're sexy. You won't get dick from me except a can of Pepsi.
What does that mean? I have never understood what that line
I mean,
means.
it literally means what it means. Like, you might get a fucking soft drink from me, but that's about it.
Okay, because how it sounds like it's like a can of Pepsi is a euphemism for a dick, and I was like, I don't understand what this means.
No, I can totally see that. As far as I understood, it wasn't meant to be a euphemism. It was meant to be like, literally, I won't even purchase you $1 soft drink because.
Okay.
Because.
All right. Or not a euphemism for a penis, like Pepsi. No. There's a nickname for Pepsi that's like dick. You know, like, hey,
yeah,
we're a
Coke can dick, but it's usually Coca-Cola though. It's a Coke can dick.
Okay. I thought it meant cocaine.
Oh no.
Sofa in the rocks? Maybe Sofo in
the rocks.
Sofonda
rocks.
Okay.
I
also,
think.
Everyone, the chat's very far away from me, and I have bad eyesight. I
can't see it at all.
Yes.
So I have no idea if you're talking to me, and if you are and I'm not responding, I'm sorry, I can't see it.
Oh, if someone has any questions for you, I'll let them know. Unless it's a dumb question.
There are no dumb questions, Skeeter.
No, there's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
There's no bad questions either. There's no stupid questions. There are bad questions, but there are no stupid questions.
Okay. What if the question's like, what's a fucking question?
Well, then that might be kind of dumb. I have actually heard some questions where I'm like, you just dispelled the myth that there are no dumb questions. You
say
doesn't
names.
happen often. Oh shit, I don't remember.
Okay. Okay, let's get back into Gutter Mouth.
2 years old and you're only 14, trying to show your tits to me. Are you fucking kidding me? Use a gutter hoe, you coming in the dough. Walk inside, settle, is your fucking pussy so? Cause you's a little slut, I show no respect. Giving me the fuck, guys, you're lucky I don't break your neck. I'll spit in your face if you don't act right. We stopping out gutter mouths every single night. Little bitch, cause we real crazy right now, I'm being real. If you're not 18 to me, you're not sex appeal. Not trying to be a dick, but you're not getting served. So take that whole shit and keep moving with the herd. Always chirping like a bird, but I don't hear the words. Face all greasy like Wisconsin cheese curds.
Good about
I was gonna use I have a voice modulator, and it can like make my voice sound like a demon. I was like, I could use that today.
You could, and then you could sing Gutter Mouth.
I could, but it would have been another power outlet. And I was like, we don't need to waste the electricity for that.
No.
Could have used auto-tune as well.
Tired of walking down the street and seeing all these little cunts. 14 years old thinking that they sexy, bitch, you just a slut. All your ass is good for is a target.
Don't condone slut shaming, by the way.
Drips on your grill after the dick was in your butt. Fuck to get a little fame, trying to make
Star fuckers I can.
Grab a whore by the hair and make her bite the fucking curb. Bitch, I'm caving skulls unless you follow and learn my every word. Time to close your legs, get a job and stop whoring for choke. On the worth food chain, I'd rank your rank as pretty low. Thinking that you something when you nothing, girl, it makes me sick. Acting like you got respect, in reality, you're just a trick. I didn't get where I am by hitting knees and sucking dick. Don't even bring your nasty slit and try to step to my crib. Get out of my line of sight or I'm swooping in quick. Such a throat so you gutter mouth will never lick another prick.
Who's doing this right now?
Okay, so that's Low-Key from the Spot Workers.
Okay.
From B.O.W. I actually wrote down it was like, I don't know, maybe 2016. he ended up getting arrested for kidnapping.
Oh, whoa.
Him and like a couple other people like robbed this dude and threw him in a trunk and shit. It was all over the news. Like, so yeah, we don't work with him anymore.
Damn.
Aw, TC.
I wanna fuck. They're not looking for a man. Also, Chris, you are not a man right now. You probably maybe 18, 19 years
If
old.
that. Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, because him and Poppin were 15, I think, when I met them, which would have been like 2004. Because Chris was born, or TC was born in 87. Poppin was right at the beginning of 88. So
You guys.
they weren't too, I mean, we weren't, we were in our early 20s, but there, like I said, this was for some people.
Let's keep going.
What bitches nowadays, they fucking and sucking, they way to the top. Panties drop, I'm laughing, hoes are stupid, that's a proven fact. Some are skinny, some are fat, some are quiet, some are loud. Fuck them and they gut them out. Take your hood rest sometimes out. I'm kicking it with them real chicks, murder them out. LYSSA CER the true sin. Fuck them gutter hoes, cause they everywhere, they like to stand. Telling lies on MySpace with they hot and ready face. Internet
Hot and ready face.
ain't worth my time. I only fuck legal hoes, fuck doing time over some young hoe that thinks she's a dumb. So don't get offended, this song is for them hoes. They're big gutter mouths, I don't need them at my shows.
Good amount.
LYSSA CER, this song did not age well in
No,
some regards.
It did not. Like I said, I don't condone slut shaming. So that is not something that aged well. And maybe it was look, here's the tea, all right? And you've been to enough shows to know this, and anybody who's ever been to a concert knows this. There are typically a group of young ladies who project that they are older than they are, that are trying to get, certain kinds of attention. And, it can be problematic, especially when they look to be a certain age. You know what I mean? But it did not age well. You are correct. We were the adults at the time. We should have been more proactive about those kinds of incidents. But, we were also kids at the time, too. We may have been older, but we weren't adults quite yet.
Because now it should be like gutted dick bros. And it's like, hey, man, maybe don't have sex with these children.
No, that is absolutely accurate.
Yeah.
Absolutely accurate.
Because I was listening to this and it was like, they're like, walk up to these girls and say like, hey, is everything okay at home?
Right.
What's wrong?
Right. But like I said, it was it was prompted. So, it was personal, and it shouldn't have been. We were all kids and we were dumb and we were saying dumb shit.
At the time, I wanted this song to be like, hey guys, go over to our friend Skeeter. He's 14. Why not?
You should have said
Let's
that.
do that.
We could have changed the whole. I'd have remixed this song just for that, for you.
And then it would have been like, now I would have listened to this and been like, oh God, why?
No,
why did you do this? No.
Actually, I wouldn't have done that because of the caliber of female. I would never. I'd kill you. I'd kill you if you even looked at that kind of female.
Hey, you don't know what Nicole's like. I'm kidding. Nicole's a goddamn queen.
I was going to say, I can imagine what Nicole is like, and that is the farthest kind of image that comes to mind.
I don't know why she hasn't just barged in here yet.
Because she's a queen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told her, barge in. I enjoy it when she does. Normally I have to I have to talk about things that she like hears. Maybe that's the issue. I used to do this like in an open room that was attached to the room she was hanging out in. And if I say dumb shit or like purposefully say dumb shit to try and get her attention, she'll run in and be like, that's not real.
Right.
Like I was talking a very long time about how to feel more at home because she had like animals, she's just been purchasing pubic hairs and just sprinkling them around the apartment. Totally unreal. Like this is not
like
a true
little
thing.
pets.
Yes. If we were in the old apartment, she would have came in and been like, you need to cut that shit out, James.
Just knock it off. You know that they're not pubic hairs, they're head hairs.
I mean, I'm the only one with head hair here.
Oh, well, I did not know that.
Nicole's got alopecia, baby.
Oh.
It's dope.
Hey, I've seen a lot of women that rock the close to the head thing, and they look gorgeous. I have a bowling ball head with a 5 forehead, yeah, like the 4-finger hair going on, so I'd look crazy without hair.
Well, but if it's 0 hair, like Zaz from Gotham, then you're looking pretty badass.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen a lot of women able to rock that look. I don't think that I have the head shape for it.
Nicole is like, she'll watch that and be like, I like that there's representation for people with alopecia, but why are they always the villain? Always. If you have 0, besides that one comedian, but he usually plays like a bumbling fool. He's a British comedian. He has alopecia.
I know who you're talking about. He hosts the Great British Baking Show now. He's one of the 2 hosts.
Is it Noel Fielding still on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah.
Last I watched, he was.
Man, he's so
Mold
funny.
Greg.
Yeah. Man, Mighty
drink
Boosh is
Bailey's
dope.
out of a shoe.
If you guys haven't seen that or Luxury Comedy, we saw him live a few years ago. One of the best, because it was so, like, he did stand-up and then it devolved into Luxury Comedy where he's coming out as characters, his brother's there, all of this shit's happening, and it was amazing. You can get it on DVD and Blu-ray.
That sounds cool.
It's great.
I still have the Kevin Smith DVD you got me for my birthday that one year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Those times were great. I always talk about, man, I used to be able to get Domino's whenever. It was great. It was the best.
Oh man, that's gonna be on my tombstone. She gave us pizza.
But it was one of those situations where the first time you said like, "Hey, do you want anything?" And I'm like, "No, thank you. I don't want to put you guys out." And you're like, "No, you don't worry." I was like, "Oh no, I don't want you to spend money." And you were like, "We will just. Do you want pizza?" I was like,
are you hungry?
And then I started getting I was like, "Can I get extra pepperoni and extra sauce?" And you were like, "Extra or double?" I was like, "Excuse me, what's this double you're talking about?"
What is this magic you speak of? What is this hoodoo voodoo that you do?
And now I think about that, I'm like, oh, that's heartburn in a box.
Yeah, I know I'm getting old because my gallbladder couldn't handle that anymore.
Oh man, I have ulcers up the ass.
Oh, that sounds painful. I thought they were supposed to be in your stomach.
Oh, haha. I think actually you could probably, no wait, I guess if you had you could have ulcers in your intestine and I guess your like colon.
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like every time you poop, it opens that sore up with shit.
Yeah, at that point, I just do what the label says and kill myself.
I mean, shit's always I'm down in turds left and right, so it's always infecting my ulcers, but
you're downing turds left and right?
Yeah, left, right, and center,
and
like that
sideways.
Dice game
Diagonal.
Michigan play.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's all 3 dimensions. X, Y, and Z. Shit.
3D poo. 3D poo.
Yep, just coming in my gullet, and then I'm coming in my jeans.
Sounds like a typical Tuesday for Skeeter.
Oh, wow, we got a spike in viewers as we're talking about downing turds.
About Guttermouth hose and 3D turd propellant. Welcome to the show, everybody.
They heard we were talking about hot people with alopecia, and then they stumble upon this. What's up next? Baddest bitches? It's not. Murk you.
Murk you.
For fun, B-word. Before we begin, you got any backstory on this?
This was one that just was one of those tracks that there were a shit ton of us at Outlaw and PG's house one time. We were in the studio just, partying and hanging out, and everyone that was there dropped a verse. I loved the song and was just, hounding them to let me put it on my album, and they were nice enough to do it. And I was saying today, if ever there was a song that I'm going to be remembered for, it's going to be this one.
Hell yeah. Also, real quick thing. I know the Horrorcore Wiki recently started adding albums. I apologize to, I believe it's Frank who does that.
Yeah.
You're probably listening to this, finding out trivia to add to that wiki, and you heard me talk about downing shit.
Oh, he'll love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I owe him an artist profile.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They added me. I was like, what? What is this?
That's the shit.
Hell yeah.
You should be on there.
I was excited. And
As
it was
you
also,
should be.
it was accurate. That's the weird thing.
He's like, he takes a lot of care in what he does like that. He is doing the entire underground community a service with what he does.
I was always hoping that they would add the albums, but I was like, he needs to open it at least, or maybe because he could ask artists to be like, hey, would you like to contribute any information about this and just plug it in?
He does do that.
Okay.
Like, because that's why I'm not on there yet, is because I owe him like my biography and my discography and everything. But I do know that in the last couple days, I saw that he put out a call for lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Like if any artists want to send in their lyrics and stuff. So that, what you're talking about may be on the horizon.
Hell yeah. I gotta find the Carnivorous lyrics and get that to him.
That was a good track.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe someone put up that Rodmouth song. I hadn't looked for that in years.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't looked for that in years. I looked it up, and it was there, and it had been up for like a week.
No, the same exact thing happened to me. You probably saw my comment because
I did.
Also thought it was always Knothead, not Rotten Mouth.
No, Rodmouth out of Jersey.
And I looked for it forever because I was like, I love this song. And then Vect is the one who put it up.
Yes, that was who it was. I knew it was someone that we knew.
God dang it. Focus on me. Corwin bought me from This Movie's Gay. It's a LGBTQ cinema podcast that I do with my non-hetero friend Corwin. He bought me this. We have the same exact webcam. His always on his face. It's flawless. Me, this shit happens.
It might be that light strip in the back of you.
I think it's actually the microphone. Because sometimes it'll like start focusing in on the mic, and he's like, James, it's on the mic, and I'm like, ugh.
No, that makes sense.
Well, no, I need to get closer. Okay, that's somehow more.
So much face.
All right, guys, let's get into We'll Murk You for Fun, Bitch.
That's just the way we run, bitch.
It's gonna have a little bit of. We'll just go right to there.
Sorry, gotta text the hubs.
What? Who made this beat? BK?
No,
I think this is River Rat.
PG.
Oh.
PG, I think. Because he's on the hook, too.
We gotta bump this one.
I was born ready to play, so give me a motherfucking mic and listen what I have to say. We'll murk you for fun, bitch. That's just the way we run shit. We psycho, stay blazing. Make your shit taking over, we crazy. We'll murk you for fun, bitch. That's just the way we run shit. We psycho, stay blazing. Make your shit taking over, we crazy. It's always on my mind since the year of 99. Smoking blunts and writing rhymes, slitting throats at the time I'm so high. With more drugs in my future, if I have a gun in my waist, you know I'm gonna shoot your time. No let the blood rain in the year of the beast, the rebirth of the devil, so you'll never rest in peace.
Chat, ask us questions. We'll answer.
I'm the SOB. What else can I say? Murder rap, evil shit is where it's at. If you never heard of me before, I kill MCs on every track. Smoking blunts up in the studio when we writing wicked shit.
Always chilling when we kick it, so we gotta keep it in a rock.
We'll murk you for fun, bitch. That's just the way we run shit. We psycho, stay blazing. Wicked shit taking over, we crazy. We'll murk you for fun, bitch.
I had to turn on the fan, guys.
Life's amazing, blazing blunts are cutting just please. There's worthless people begging, crying down on their knees. I'm stuck in like 4 he's psycho. It's close to Halloween, so you can call me Michael Myers. Take some flyers to your face, your life's a race. What did you say? You pray before you pay, and you gonna die today. Megan's crawling, Hitler styling, Ryan's rolling in the street. Make, kill, repeat, one word, infamy.
I'm the prick of resurrected. When I'm done, your life's affected. Razor blades hit in my mouth. Use my lips and head down south. Getting turned on by your prize. I suck that bloody dick. Dry hands tied behind you. There's nothing left that you can do. Slash off your balls to enjoy your final screw. Bet you wish we never met. I'm your deadliest regret. It's too late to try to run. My fun's not even close to done. You won't see another day, cause LYSSA CER don't fucking play. We'll murk you for fun, bitch. That's just the way we rush it. We psycho.
Sofondarox asks, where can I find and listen to all these songs?
So, yeah. Well, and I'm working on that. So I've got hard copies pressed up. I've got hard copies of this, Scorelore, Thick and Shameless, Rate Music, and 149. They're all here. I've got the stock. I just haven't put it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hell yeah.
you know, just hit me up on Facebook. You can find me under LYSSA CER. Just hit me up, let me know you want one, and we'll chop it up and make it work.
That's lyssa.cer.kyp if you do an @ because there is your old LYSSA CER might show up as well.
Yes. Yeah, and so you're looking with my current profile is the one with I have 2 different color eyeshadows on. Very distinct.
Sofondarox said, by the way, LYSSA, you are a badass. Love your style.
Thank you so much.
Mercu, it's a great song.
Murky was that song is a banger. And like that, anytime I hear that, it always makes me smile because it was the most fun to perform on stage. And like the crowd just like, you know, you see like videos of artists like having people sing their lyrics back to them, and to hear the crowd on that hook and to see the mosh pits, and like it didn't matter if it was 5 fucking people that were doing it. It was so electric that it felt like a million. It was that song. We still, if we're all in the same place, or even if like one is missing, maybe we did that song up until I stopped performing like 4 years ago. You know, we would just rap TC's verse, and you know, if anybody else wasn't there, like we would either cut their verse or we would rap that one too. But that one always will be a banger.
There was once, I believe it was Bloodshot, went up to, it might be someone else, but River Rat was on stage and went up to, I believe, you, and said, hey, who is that person I can hear screaming the lyrics along, like the Mod X sound? Yeah. Who is that? And you were like, oh, that's our friend Skeeter. He really enjoys being here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you were always hype as fuck. Like, if you were in the audience and if Stu was in the audience, that was enough to make it a fucking party.
Hell yeah.
Like, that was all, at least for me, you two were the only ones I needed to fucking get hype on stage. Everybody else is just, you know, an extra bonus. Like,
trying to explain to other people in high school, like, why can't you speak today on Monday? I'd be like, oh, I went to this concert event.
Yeah, well, Muskegon is not known for its underground music, even now.
Hey, man, G.G. Allen called Muskegon his home for a while.
Hey, Muskegon is amazing, and it's good. There are some great artists here, but for whatever reason, yeah, Pop Evil hails from here, shit. But the scene just like will not pick up. I mean, Grand Rapids is the closest, and even there, like, horrorcore isn't really. And Rotten is there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. The former drummer of Sleeping with Sirens from Muskegon.
Is he really?
Yeah, I went to a youth group with him.
Oh, jeez.
And his brother was the screamer person in Attack, and then I think Brightwell is his newest band. Very nice people now. They were kind of mean to me in I mean, everyone was mean to me in
I was gonna
in middle
say
school.
you and I both. Well, I can't. That's not true. Not very many people were mean to me.
Oh, you know the bad F word? This kid got called it a lot.
Oh, that's not cool.
For doing the most hetero thing you can do. I want your opinion. And chat. This is the most hetero thing you can do. Kiss a boy to make out with a girl. That's fucking hetero as hell.
That's hardcore hetero.
Yeah.
That's showing that you're comfortable with your sexuality and you'll go do whatever it takes to kiss a girl.
So bad.
I need the lips. Lips.
Yeah, but then all of middle school, and then once I became a crazy person in high school, people stopped making fun of me.
Well, your high school had a history of that one crazy person going off the rails crazy.
Oh yeah, like on a Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
Yeah.
I knew, like, my family knew his family, and that was scary times.
Wasn't also Jeff Willis from the Reese Puffer area?
No, he was from Fruitport.
Ooh. Oh man, a hometown
Horrors,
fuckboy.
yeah. Really legit, like, hometown horrors for sure. Muskegon doesn't have many, but those two, good God. And whoever killed Andrea Bowes.
I don't know who that is.
That was, I don't even know if you were born yet.
And when? You said the 90s.
Like the early 90s, like 91, 92
Okay.
maybe.
91, 3 months of that, this boy was there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it may have, even if it was like, it might have been the mid 90s, but you would have been a babe, a baby scamp.
Might have been in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, no, and actually, yeah, because it was definitely before you were 10. Because it was before I graduated from high school, so.
Damn. Guys.
And I'm going to stop aging myself now.
Go head over to Muskegon and do some horrific shit, Make a
No.
name for yourself.
No, you keep your crazy asses out of Muskegon.
Go to, I hear Miami.
Go to Flint.
There's so many crazy people in Miami, I hear from fiction.
Oh, tons. Miami's crazy, according to the books.
Yeah, specifically Dexter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, too.
Hey, did anyone see the new Dexter?
Is it out?
Yeah, I think the first one premiered maybe last weekend, maybe it's this weekend.
I'm behind.
I
on
still
everything.
haven't. I got halfway into that last season and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't even.
Even that, how season 7 end? It went 8 seasons, right?
I thought it went 7, but I'm not sure.
Whatever. When the sister shoots one person, it's like, why?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. She would not have done this to protect him.
A lot of shows go off the rails right around season 5, season 6,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they have book.
Dexter doesn't return until November. What?
Yeah, I didn't think it was out yet.
Oh, I thought it was. Then why did I start seeing it trending on whatever?
They released a new trailer.
Oh, okay. That's Defect. Defect got us, and it is 8 seasons. One show that it went beautifully off the rails, and I like thinking about it. It's like going into season 1, you should be like, oh, if this goes more than 3 seasons, it has to go off the rails, and that's Gotham. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm
Dude.
As far as like the Galvin storyline, like how that played out.
Season 4 is one of the best seasons because it just becomes a soap opera. People get shot in the fucking head and they come back. It is amazing.
That may have been, because there were a lot of moments where, like, even in my apartment in Detroit by myself, I would stand up and be like, yeah! Like, it's so badass. Like, that.
Nicole and I, you can chart, if you see a woman on that show, you can tell the season by how deep their V is because it eventually goes down to their navel. Like, it's so dumb and amazing, that show.
It was so good.
And the series finale, I think, is one of the best series finales. No, I'm not going to say anything. Because it does what I think a series finale should do. Is 1, wrap everything up, and 2, make you wish there were more.
That is what I would want out of any finale for a show.
God, Nicole
it's
and
exactly
I,
that.
on Mostly Speaking Sentai eventually became a Gotham podcast because we were like, who wants, every guest we would say like, have you been watching Gotham? And they're like, that show that ended 2 years ago. I was like, just please, did you watch any of it? And they're like, we watched the first episode. And we're like, no.
No, it takes a little bit to pick up steam, but when it does, whoo, it's so good.
Oh man, everyone dying, coming back,
Right?
getting amnesia. It's
So good.
fucking great. Okay, we're here for a reason. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've gone off. Speaking of going off the
yes.
rails,
Hey, we were talking about River Rat. This I know for a fact is a River Rat beat. I hope
is.
that's correct. Demon Whisperer.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, if you could whisper one thing to a demon, like a command spell in Dungeons and Dragons, what would it be?
Banish, bitch.
Wait, but no, that's actually a different spell. Unless the demon itself knows the banish spell. Banish makes you go to a different plane of existence for, I think, 1 minute in D&D time. Command is you can command it to do anything as long as they don't roll like a fucking wisdom check or something.
I would like to see that scene in Little Nicky played out where they shove pineapples up Hitler's ass.
Okay, so you command it to shove pineapple.
Up Hitler's ass.
Okay, hopefully Hitler's around.
I feel like if there's a hell, he's probably there.
No, but this is just a demon. We don't know where it is. Do you want me to signify where this demon is?
No, I'd still go with the same.
Okay, because I was going to say in Insanities. To the people who were not here on the stream, because that was very early in the stream.
Find something in the back room to say a large double-ended, the big thick ones.
Okay.
Slap him with that repeatedly. Officially.
There's probably also like a studded dildo that looks like a pineapple. There's some weird dildos out there.
There are, but I feel like that's more at a specialty shop than it is
Okay.
at Insanities.
They don't have like a dragon dildos there?
Not last time I looked.
Okay. Do they have those ones that shoot like fake semen in?
Those I think they might have had up in a corner.
Okay.
They've got some interesting things in there, that's for sure.
Guys, check out Insanity. Say twitch.tv/Mostly Speaking Sentai sent you.
All right, while people listen to Demon Whisperer, I'm going to go take a little girls' room break.
Alrighty. Guys,
All
I'm
right.
here for you. She'll be back. I promise you. Oh, I hope she is. Oh, no. I'll actually shut up during this. This is one of my favorite songs. I prefer the original recording of it. There's an original version out there somewhere. I'll floss during this, but I have to put on pants first.
No longer will my dark word accept blessed defeat. He tells me that my voice will be the thing that makes his play complete. Chant, sing, rap, just be heard. Scream my praises, bring it to sick, and they'll hang on every word. Spit the wicked, pain inflicted, and the demons will be stirred. Infect the people with fury, full Armageddon will be spurred. So listen now, it's set to work to take the certain sear. Violent death, your specialty will fill the hearts with angst and fear. I'm the murder scene queen, the demon whisperer. 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 Evil brethren of the flames arise at my behest. The time has come to go forward with the unholy quest. At the finish, every soul on earth will be possessed until the morning star burns again. Wicked will not rest. I'll show you terrors that will make the pits of hell look big. Wrap your guts around a rod. Hear the chains start to creak. Turn the lever and test and sever, and the blood starts to leak. Entrails around your neck. The way you tweak is so unique. I'm gonna hit my peak as I hear your breath go weak. Supreme evil train me, so don't critique my technique. I'm the murder scene queen, the demon whisperer. 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 Masses crowd around me while I speak of simple pleasures. Satan's spawn begins to pounce and limbs are getting severed. Arms and legs, heads and feet all fill the open ground. Screams of terror, searing pain is such a soothing sound. I see a priest crying as a demon rapes his mother. Devil cock shoved down her throat, she's gonna start to smother. Ripping faces off with skulls and wearing them like foolish masks. My dark lord is pleased. I carried out my hellish task.
Wow.
I was flossing while you were gone.
Flossing like your teeth, or flossing like showing off your yogis?
Oh no, flossing like the dance
Oh,
on Fortnite.
well, I don't know what that is.
Hold on, there's also one more yogi for my collection. He's
Oh,
he's
Jesus.
somewhere in here. He's
That's dope.
he's like somewhere maybe over here.
Front row, left side. Front row, left side. Next to Betty.
I like Hanna-Barbera. You guys, you gotta check out Jellystone on HBO Max. It is very good. Thoughts? Opinions?
I haven't seen it, so
Yeah, it just came out. It's
Oh.
very funny. If you like Chowder, the Cartoon Network show, or what else did Green Waltz do? There was a show on Nickelodeon that I can't remember the name of. He also did that. It's like Duck Bill, even though it's not Duck Bill.
yeah, I don't know. I was more of an Invader Zim girl.
Whoa, Invader Zim. Shout out to Daniel Koenig, who wrote on Invader Zim.
Well, and Honan Vasquez, who created it.
Yeah. Oh man, That's how I knew Nicole was gonna be cool, because she's like, oh, she found out that I was into comics, and she's like, I haven't really read any of them. I just read this thing called Squee that
Squee
I
is
got
awesome.
at a yard sale, and now she works at a comic book store. She writes comics, or
Started a whole.
I write the comics. She draws them.
It was Jeff or Stitches that introduced me to Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, Invader Zim, Squee, all that.
Nicole can't. She's like, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I was like, oh, I'll get that for her. She also loves Invader Zim, but she's like, it makes me anxious.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's the like drawing style, all of it. It's very like frenetic on the page.
Guys, Demon Whisperer, one of my favorite songs.
See, I never did understand that. You and I used to always argue about that, because this is my least favorite on the album.
I did like the original recording of it more, but that might just be because it was the first one I heard, and that's what I had on a CD.
Yeah, and it was just rough, and it was quiet, and I changed a little bit here and there, but yeah, this was one that I always wanted to like, because I love the beat, but I did not like what I put onto the beat.
I've been there.
Yeah.
But then
and plus, like, rapping about like demons and like the devil and shit, like that was never really my area. You know what I mean? It was kind of like rapping about like hurting children. That was something that I always tried to like steer away from, unless I was asked by someone else to do it. So just one of those areas where I'm like, kind of like you with the R word.
Yeah.
Like, I
like devil shit though.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And I like to listen to a lot of it, but just for me, it's, but again, like I said, I grew up in a household that was independent Baptist. So that's like the serious ones.
Yeah. Oh, hey, quick, while we're talking on devil shit and stuff like that, Fear Street, what'd you think?
I've seen 1 and 2, and I'm about halfway through 3. I really liked 1 and 2. The soundtracks were insanely good. Good.
Someone pointed it out, and I was like, God, I wish I hadn't seen that before I saw the first one. AIM started in 97. It would not have been in this. It wouldn't have been in here.
No, but it is. I liked it for.
Yeah.
As someone who,
one, especially how watch it. It's so
I'll
good.
watch it tonight.
I think I rated them on Letterboxd 5-star, 5-star, 5-star.
And I think I gave, because I don't do it on any of that. I just say it to my husband, but I think I gave the first one 4 and the second one 4.5.
Okay.
Because the second one had some emotional weight to it.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, like also the fact that it is so queer focused and not.
Yes.
And
I loved that.
Eventually, shit. How far into the third one are you?
Not far enough.
Okay.
Don't say anything, because I was
just
in and out. So it will be like watching a whole new thing for me when I watch it. So say no more, because that's the one I'm most excited about, because it's based on the Fear Street books that I liked best, which were the Fear Street Saga books.
Because I wasn't going to talk about, I was just going to say, like, what it's an allegory for, and I really
Oh, no, don't do that either.
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Because
that's my kind of discussion. No.
Maybe you should come if you want, or I guess I should talk to Corwin first. If we ever do Fear Street on This Movie's Gay, we should, I'll bring up... I'll bring
right
up
my alley, kid.
The allegory stuff, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, James! I never would have thought you would have caught that." He likes making me look dumb. It's easy to do, but still,
I could probably come in and help you make him look dumb. So
no, he's knowledgeable.
Well, no, and but Skater, I'm trained in that. That's what my master's degree is in finding allegories and books.
It's a specific allegory that we talk about, or it's a specific thing in history that we talk about on the show of This Movie's Gay. And for him to, like, he would probably be like, "Oh, yeah, James, I'm glad you picked up on that."
Okay, I got you.
So, hey, guys, check out This Movie's Gay. It's great.
Yeah.
We've discussed all 5 or 6 eating out movies. Check those movies out. Shout out Q Allen Baraka. He doesn't listen. Actually, he listens to This Movie's Gay. I say some stuff about people, like actors and stuff. I'm like, damn, man, that dude's dick is thick. And like through pants. And then
robbing.
Then flash forward 2 months, and then the guest is a person who I have taught, because like we do indie movies on there. So people are all the people writing and directing are sometimes also the actors. And this person says like, "Hey James, my dick isn't actually that big. It was the underwear." I was like, I don't believe that, man.
That's a lie. Lies, Manelli, lies.
You got that thick hog, man. And then he's like, and then I think him and Corwin were like, "It's always the straight dudes who notice how big your dick is."
Well, yeah, because you're comparing swords.
No, it's even nipples. Like I noticed like nipples, and I was like, you can tell that that's there on camera. Like you do this with your nipples, make sure they're not hard, or it's just baffling sometimes that like, guys.
Now I'm gonna be fixated on nipples in movies, so thank you.
And deedles, man.
Deedles.
That's what we call penises here in this apartment.
Hey, I'm all for it.
And sometimes you gotta meet the deedles. That's a movie that I'm obsessed with for some weird reason. It's
They're crazy.
Good. It is a Disney movie, and it stars Paul Walker before Fast and Furious.
Okay.
It's about him and his fraternal twin. They're surfers from Hawaii. They are fuck-ups on their 18th birthday. They are shipped to the mainland in near Yellowstone to do this boot camp. They end up through fuckery, end up being on the park, being like part of the park rangers, where they have to, they have a prairie dog problem because the villain of the movie, the 2 villains, are trying to sabotage the park. Do you want to know who these 2 villains are played by? Dennis Hopper and Robert Englund.
Oh, wow.
It is...
In a Disney movie?
Yes. Baffling.
Okay, they're scary in regular movies. Can you imagine the kind of trauma they would like project onto children? Dennis Hopper alone. Blue Velvet is still like unsettling.
Whenever I hear him on the Gorillaz Demon Days narrating the last 2 songs and him screaming, "Let's fuck."
Yeah. Let's fuck. Oh, fuck anything that moves.
Someone should have took him up on that offer and been like, "Okay, well, I'll strap some meat to a fan blade. Will you fuck that?"
He probably would.
Oh, dang.
I mean, Dennis Hopper, circa Easy Rider, I feel like probably would have.
Have you ever seen, it's a Nick Cage movie, Red Rock West?
No.
Dennis Hopper's the villain in that. It is a fucking amazing movie, and it's insane no one talks about it. It's great.
Is it like a 80s movie, I take it?
94 or 93, I think. Granted, it's only on DVD. You can't stream it. That might be why people aren't talking about it.
Probably.
because
especially because it's Nick Cage. I feel like he's experiencing a renaissance of sorts.
Oh yeah, man, his horror stuff. Nicole and I do a Nick Cage podcast, and we're watching all his movies and ranking all of them, trying to figure out if he's a genius or a madman. And
what's the difference?
There's a clear difference.
It's rhetorical.
Yes,
it's rhetorical.
But with that, is he sometimes just? It's generally if the director lets him be I think he's always a madman. But if a director is able to not even wrangle him, just say, like, please do what you need to do.
Direct his energy.
Yes.
Doing their job. Yeah, no, I get that.
Oh, man, but some people are like, Vampire's Kiss, it's the greatest bad movie. No, it just sucks.
Yeah, that one is pretty bad.
So far, I think Amos and Andrew is the best one. It's him and Samuel L. Jackson. It's fucking great.
Well, Samuel L., how could it not be?
Whew.
Yeah, we're going off the rails again.
Yes, okay. We have so much. I don't think we'll get done.
Yeah, no, because I was going to say, my daughter has a bedtime, and we're approaching it in like 2 hours.
And
we're only halfway through that.
What songs would you like to get through? Or what Hurricane, should we skip or play?
No, we need to play Hurricane.
Okay.
Play Hurricane, I'm Going to Kill You, Kept in the Crypt, Angels and Demons.
All right. Real quick, Defect said Nick Cage plays the same character in every movie. I don't think he does, because if you watch him in Peggy Sue Got Married and then him in he's playing Pokey.
Face Off. And then it's a totally different character.
You watch him in Honeymoon in Vegas. Yeah, all three of those completely different characters. But oh man, him in Rumblefish, I'm kidding. Just all of Rumblefish sucks. You said play Hurricane?
Yeah, okay. You got to play Hurricane. That's probably my favorite album.
All right, we're playing Hurricane, guys. We have gotten so off track.
Oh, yeah.
When you haven't talked to one of your friends at, like, face-to-face in
years.
Yes, this will happen.
How you feel about me, what you see, may believe I won't be losing any sleep. That's some shit that I cannot control with any punch throw. Rest assured that I'm just gonna roll. I'm past the opposition, I'm my only competition. I won't even give a listen to people and the repetition. Time has come to make way for the new breed. B.O.W. Murder House and KYP. There's a hurricane coming through, Miss Lizza's coming after you. Be the queen bitch of the KYP.
God love for this wicked bitch.
Let me see you throw down.
God love for this wicked bitch.
Let me see you throw down. A bitch in a man's world, I know the bottom's where I'll start. Won't make a difference, I got an edge that will set me apart. It ain't about image, one of your skill. It's about driving hard. I treat every track I do like a complex piece of art. Despite a lack of dick involved, it's like a bitch so comes on it. Anytime I play a hope, the world is my graveyard. Think of me as a horrible avant-garde. Time to hold a bitch in high regard. Spin flame so hot, the underground's gonna feel charred. Leave them scarred, no longer will the women be barred. Gonna rewrite history, so go ahead, keep listening to me. Be setting a higher standard for the female MC. There's a hurricane coming through, Miss Lizza's coming after you. Be the queen bitch of the KYP.
God love for this wicked bitch.
Let me see you throw down.
God love for this wicked bitch.
Let me see you throw down. Get havoc on the masses like a natural disaster. Crosses trying to take us out, best bet we're coming after you. The KYP rosters like a wicked who's who. List them out again, DC, GMAC, Ben Award, Icarus. The only ones on a level are our close associates. Murder House and killers on some underground genius. Without that day in 99, we might not be doing this. B.O.W. a chance to love you, handling no business. Scum and LSP, taking over Colorado. SKR, their deadly sound be running New Mexico. Their very own Roscoe, someone that I'm really down with. Only wicked bitch I ever share my murder crowd. A hurricane coming through, Miss Lizza's coming after you. Be the queen bitch of the KYP.
God love for this wicked bitch.
Let me see you throw down.
When I was listening to that, like, on a serious note, I was listening to that earlier when I was doing the listen through or whatever, and like, to me, that's one of the songs that like actually stands up and like is still dope after all this time. And like, when I wrote that, I was such a greenback, and like I was so new to the scene, and that I was talking about like all the things that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And like listening to it now, and like, you know, just like when I came back and like, you know, came back on the scene after that few years after I had my shit, and like people were still receptive and like were hitting me up and just saying the nicest things. And it's like, I was listening to that and I was like, damn, I actually did like, I did this, like I did exactly what I set out to do all those years ago. And I started like crying and shit. I'm not even gonna lie, because it was humbling as fuck. Like, to, you know, you don't always have that like concrete evidence of where you were and what you wanted to do, and like actually hitting that point. And like, you know, I didn't get to do a lot of big tours or, you know, whatever, but like the people that I really respected when I came up are like my homies now, you know, the people that I wanted to like, you know, I wanted them to respect me. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, it's a cool thing to kind of, you know, look back on and thank your lucky stars that, you know.
I have the same exact experience. Like the people I grew up as a teen, I am currently talking to right now. And sometimes I'm like, hey, maybe should have idolized Ludacris a little bit more.
Right? Damn, I should have set my sights higher.
But no, like truly my own, like my biggest fans and my only fans, .com/Marsh Monster, are the people I grew up listening to.
Yeah. Well, and it's like it's all come full circle and whatever. Like it's, but like KGP and you know Defect, Hospital H, like Staples. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people that when I was you know just coming in, just learning about underground music. Rotten. That's another one. Like I have 3 tattoos from Wreak Havoc. Like that's someone that I could hit up and be like, hey, what's up? Like that shit's still, even at, you know, as old as I am, I'm like, damn, that's the shit. Like, I still fangirl over my friends a little bit.
Speaking of Rotten, oh yeah, check that out.
Dude, when they re-released Postmortem,
oh yeah, I'm excited so excited because, like, speaking of rhyme schemes earlier, one of them's doing some real nice rhyme schemes.
Havoc. That's Wreak Havoc.
So
He's
good.
So sick. So good. And they hadn't recorded music in so long, and it's like they never left when they came back. Like
I would even go further of like, no, yeah, they were still recording music, obviously, because they are much better now.
Not together, they weren't. And there's very little that I know Wreak Havoc didn't do a ton during that time period. So he was supposed to be on Gorelore.
Yep, I was just about to bring up there are 2 songs that did not make it on. Oh no, I think maybe 3. Was it just the 2? One was not put on. I think you should release that other one.
You know, and okay, so here's the tea. I'm just going to speak on that as it was. That was a song with Bloodshot. Like, let's just call it, like, spill the tea. That is one of the biggest regrets I have in my music career is not thinking for myself at the time. And just putting the damn song out because it was dope as fuck. It was totally shitty on my part to like not put that out. And like I've since like used the beat for something else. Like there's another song that's in the works for that beat. But I have, especially like the last, you know, when I actually think about the album, like I would really like to hit him up and be like, hey, I'd like to release this on like a B-sides or like give it the proper release it deserves because yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, there aren't many regrets I have, but that is one of them. I'm like, oh, you were such a dumbass.
I don't have his vocals, but I have yours on that beat.
And I think I have the song itself.
Okay, hell yeah.
Like a mixed version, so I have it. It's preserved, but yeah, Bloodshot was supposed to be on Gorelore, and nobody really knows that he was supposed to be on Gorelore. The song is recorded. It's still around, but nobody's ever heard it but like the inner circle. And it was a huge fucking mistake. And I still feel like a douchebag for that one.
I was going to talk Roses, Thorns, and Buds for this album. Do you know that concept?
No.
You give a rose to something that's great. A thorn is, oh, this probably shouldn't have been done. And a bud is like, oh, this will bloom into something nice.
Okay. Restless Dead would have been... Well, what it's turned into, though, it's supposed to... Right now, it's slated to be a track with Troubled Minds. And it's...
Who made the beat on that, I wonder?
I can't begin to imagine. Who would have made the beat on that track?
Has a thin-ass snare, I'll tell you.
I mean, it's definitely someone who was exclusive to KYP.
At the
time. That's a KYP producer.
And guess what? As hard as I try, I'm still exclusive to members of KYP.
Hey, that's special.
Yeah. Hey, you guys actually use my beats. Shane has C Poppin'. Oh, well, goes under Shane Poppin' Wolf now, so it's fine saying Shane. His album, I think it was Phil was standing next to me, and when Shane did the a show of 2019, and one of the songs came up, and I like nudged Phil, and I was like, "Hey, I made that beat in high school."
You were a prodigy. Like that was what we
man.
said.
I burnt
That's what we
myself
said
out.
behind the scene. Well, and you did. And that's because you were trying to do too much for too many people at the same time. Like it happens. Why do you think I never lost my love for the music? It literally just the politics and the drama and the rules that were like, you know, kind of beat into my head as to how I had to operate. It was just too much. It was too exhausting. Like
that's why I'm solo, baby.
Yeah.
To the detriment of my career.
Well, and I mean, I'm ready to record music. I just have a studio that I don't know how to use.
It's just you click a button and you talk into a
Shit.
microphone.
Ask Defect. I click a button and I lose sound. That's literally what happened. He has remotely connected to my computer in my studio, I think 2 or 3 times now. And things will be up and running. I finally got it turned on one day. Everything lit up like it was supposed to, the machine, everything. And then I clicked something, and then all of a sudden no sound picks up and no sound comes out.
Yeah,
It's literally been the most expensive home decor I've ever bought for the last 2 years.
Yeah, luckily I've never had those. I remember one time you guys, I was just out of high school. I purchased like the mixer and all of that for you guys, and you called me up and you were like, James, I think I was at work, and you were like, James, or I think it might have been Jeff, and you guys were like, you need to come over. It's not working. You need to help us out.
Sounds about right.
I come over. I look at the mixer and I'm like, oh, you guys don't have the phantom power on. Why was that even turned off? And then I click the one button, it works, then I leave. And I'm like, guys, come on.
Well, but you have to remember, to be fair, we had all at that point only recorded at Toxics or Outlaws, and you didn't touch their studio computers. You know what I mean? Like there was basically we were allowed to like click the record button and that was it. Like we had no, we didn't have the prerequisite knowledge to think, oh, maybe we should learn this shit so we can do it on our own. And we also there wasn't the need for it. Like it was more about efficiency than it was about, you know, teaching everybody everything.
I used to, I think at the peak, I think I had 8 co-hosts for podcasts, and I told all of them, I was like, hey, I will teach you how to record and how to edit. Like, please do this. And I used to like macabrely say like, what if I kill myself and you guys still want to keep doing this? It will help. And then the pandemic happened. I was like, see, you guys should have fucking learned how to do this.
Honestly, that is the one piece of advice I would give to anybody coming up on anything. Like, learn everything about your craft, not just how to rap. You need to learn how to produce. You need to learn how to run the equipment. You need to learn how to set it up, all of that shit, because that is literally what is keeping me from putting out an album within a couple months.
Yeah.
I've got the beats. You know that.
Yeah. I saw it during the pandemic. MC Chris, he's big in the nerdcore scene. He used to work. Yeah.
I remember
touring musician and living off from music for, I think, 20 years. Pandemic happened. And he started on Facebook saying like, hey guys, I got a microphone. What's a sound driver? And I'm like, dude, like how it's crazy to me that like people who are around this stuff don't know how to use it.
It's the truth. And it's that's another one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah.
Is because I've got 2 albums worth of beats and I've got concepts for every song. Like, but I'm not going to start writing a bunch of shit and not be able to record it because that's just going to piss me off.
You want to know what? I like writing the entire album than recording it, but I think that's because I also mix this stuff.
Yeah.
So by the time if I write it, record it, mix it, by the time I'm done with the album, like 8 songs later, my mixing has gotten better just through the process of mixing my own stuff and other people's stuff. So I started being like, write it all, rehearse it, record it over the course of like 2 weeks, and then you're good.
Yeah. And I usually do a rough track before I do the final track.
Ooh. Whew. If I have to re-record something, I'm pissed. I'm
No,
angered at myself.
I always pick up on stuff that I don't like in the first version. So it's similar to like what you're talking about with mixing. Like it lets me learn the music better so that I can make it sound the way I want it to.
And speaking of music.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what we just got done with Hurricane. What one you want to play next?
Let's go to I'm Going to Kill You because the chorus on that is so much fun.
Okay. After that, I want to play a game based off from Power of 3. It's a short game, but let's do I'm Going to Kill You. One of my faves.
Going to kill you.
Me and Doc Strange, we're mentally deranged, leaving blood stains, eating flesh straight off the bone, breaking in the home, and we know you're all alone. Don't grab the phone, cause if we hear the dial tone, slicing, stabbing, nabbing, constantly throat grabbing, constricting, pain inflicting, have you on the ground submitting, in your pants rubbing pussy, have you purring like a kitten. KYP is just so evil, our murder spree is never quitting. As I'm speaking on topic, I murder you, kill about a match with the murder crew. We sicker than everyone else, dismantling limbs and his in their body, dude. It's 72, we ain't play no games, we monsters. In the pale moonlight, so remember that. This time you outside and we murk your west, like you got no rights. Couples and parts on my tools of the trade. Back in the ice, we saw and spade. Killing and digging and burying victims are all mad at times, so I'll never be made. Killers by gang, that's straight to the name. Sin is my motto and murder's the way of us, spilling Thursday. Evil maniac, wait for your ass at church on Sunday. I'm going to kill you, two murders.
Probably stop this one after this next verse.
Okay.
I'ma sing my fangs in this bitch's fucking neck. This hoe shows no respect for the horror guy, so I took her to the crypt where I sleep inside my coffin. Blood was out the holes in the neck, so I lick it, then inspect her frame, remove her brain, her heart. LYSSA CER, ripped her apart, then Doc Strange put her back together. Never dead is how I'm living, always sinning in the night.
Doc
Strange, throws entangled, mangled, messing on erection, grab a hacksaw, grinding bones, hot deadly dissections. TC's getting hard over the sight. Oh, bloody gore before the sun rises. He's burying fangs in a dying whore. Throw that bitch's legs apart and get up on that butcher shit. Scalpels fucking slicing through her pussy lips and pig clit. Stitch the gaping holes up so TC's dick can rip them out. I bet now you see why. Hey, watch me, where's the fucking murder crown?
Now, it just recurred to me. The best TC verse is probably on No Religion. Is that what it was called? It was on the SKR mixtape.
Yes.
That's probably his best one.
That verse is so sick. So dope.
Whenever a thunderstorm falls through, or especially when I'm watching Godzilla movies, because he gets hit by lightning, gets power from storms when lightning strikes, that always pops into my head.
I haven't heard that song in a while.
It's so
a long
good.
time. It is so. That's another one that I've always like. I would still bump that and enjoy it just as someone who likes music like that. I was proud of that track.
Even like Wayne Dub, who wasn't horrorcore, came
He
correct
killed.
on it.
Those BO Dub boys have a streak of horrorcore in them, and when it comes out, it's like PG on "I'm Going to Kill You." That Doc Strange verse was redonkulous. I begged him to do Doc Strange after that. Like,
who are you talking about? PG. This is Doc Strange.
It's Doc Strange. I know. It's right on the album.
Doc Strange.
Right on the album.
This song has so many people on it. It does not fit on the cover.
I know. No, and that was another one that we did in the Wolfpack Nation basement that I was like, you should just let me have that track because it's so dope, but to go on my album. And they let me.
Yeah, there is so many. There's a lot of songs lost to time on that just had so many people on it. There was one, I think
Yeah.
it was just called like Too Sick, maybe, or no, Seasons of This Sick, maybe it was
Yeah.
called. That
And,
was a really good one.
We Crazy. That one was We Crazy. Mental Ward, We Crazy.
Wait,
That I
wasn't
loved
that on?
that track.
Wasn't that on Nightmares?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. I remember that being on like a mixtape or something, but those are songs that I don't have, so they're lost to me.
Okay, well, I think if it's on Nightmares, it's on Spotify. Check out Spotify, guys.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I think this little app that you may not have heard of.
Called Shazam. Check it out on Shazam, guys. We need the song in order to check it out on Shazam.
I guess I should probably get.
Do you?
I don't know what Shazam.
Okay, it's you hear a song, you let Shazam listen to the song, and it will tell you what the song is.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
Isn't that what Google's for, though?
But Google, you can't like search the song. You can type in the lyrics on Google, but like you like play the song like out in the open. It will listen to the song through your mic on your phone.
That's fancy.
Yeah. Okay, a quick thing. Power of Three. I think that's one of the sleeper hits on the album, featuring TC, fantastic verse, and Satanic the Soulless. Okay, Power of Three. I'm going to ask you some things, and I want you to tell me your three favorites of this, starting with cheese.
Oh wow. Mozzarella is my first.
Mm-hmm.
Brie and white Vermont cheddar.
Hell yeah. Horror franchise.
Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and actually number one would be Zombies Firefly trilogy.
Okay, all right. And then finally, Power of Three, the three greatest rappers from KYP Murder House. Who you putting on your Mount Rapmore if it just had three people? Ooh.
If I were an outside fan, BK would probably be at the top.
You also don't need to, like, these can be just three. Where you don't need a 1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
But now people know.
Well, I mean, anybody who's ever heard our clique in its complete, like, and I may be biased, but I would say BK, TC, and Poppin'.
Okay, hell yeah.
And it's because all three of them have really, really unique delivery styles, and where they stretch syllables out, where they tighten syllables up, the cadence of their voice, all of those things to me create three really unique MCs who don't sound like anybody else that's out there.
Hell yeah, guys. You heard it here. Listen to Shane's new album.
Yes. So if you're sleeping on Poppin's new album, you're no offense, but you're kind of fucking stupid, because the progression, he came out of nowhere with that shit. And when I sat down and listened to it for the first time, I literally almost shit my pants, because it was like a whole different person rapping. Like, he got so good, and people are just sleeping on it, and they're missing out. And it's just a good album top to bottom.
Man,
like
that 2019 concert, whoever was on before him warmed the crowd cold by their conceptual weird skit bullshit that they were doing in between sets. I don't know who it was. It was me and MC Deep.
Oh,
it was. We isolated the crowd to either people being like, "This is the greatest thing we've ever seen," or "Wow, what the fuck did we just see?"
You're polarizing and controversial.
Yes. I cried. Like, I cried because he hadn't been on stage in a long time, and yeah, it was just like a nice progression to see. And hey, guys, check out the last verse on his CD. I don't know who the person is, but it's pretty good.
Well, shameless self-plug. And what a lot of people don't know is that Poppin swore up and down for years that he would never make a solo album.
But
like that, and he did. And he made the solo album. It's so fucking dope.
And he's working on another one. He just needs to send me more tracks. I mixed 2 of them, got rough mixes back to him.
Well, he's been a little busy lately, you know.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him and the new Mrs. Wolf.
And I haven't been busy, you know. I was busy looking at my mailbox, looking for a wedding invite. I know.
There were so few
I know.
people there.
This is me being a scamp, guys.
There's a fine line between scamp and shit.
Shade, you mean? I do
Little
like
shit.
scampy shade.
Oh, scampy shade. I like that. That's like a partly cloudy day.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's another? So we got Kept in the Crypt, Bloodline, Angels and Demons.
Well, Captain the Crypt is dope just because Stitches and TC are on it. But out of those three, I would go with Angels and Demons just because to me, it's the one that has the most lasting significance.
All right, because it also, hey, goes into the next album.
Yeah.
So let's end the stream on Angels and Demons. This I also know the sound font of the strings for a specific reason.
Stuck somewhere between reality and fiction, clouding my vision, losing all conviction. What's my mission? Feel like I'm missing out on the happiness I should have gained by this time in my lifeline. Shit ain't close to find. My dreams feel out of reach. Can't teach myself to have faith, none left to gain. Can't maintain my sanity. Never be what I wanna be. Such a travesty. Talent wasted, death I tasted, chasing me like a nightmare through my dawn. Joyless days in a haze, empty gaze is all you'll get from this face. Square peg in a round hole. Feel I have no place to call home. Belong nowhere, matter to no one. All alone when it's all said and done. Thought I'd have a family. Thought I'd still be chasing my dreams. Artist, friend, sister, mother. Should I bother to go on another day? It's never my way. It never matters what I have to say. Just a shadow on the brightness of everyone else's life, consumed by strife and anger. And what I have been handed. Try to jump and find my way, but my feet is never where
This court was singing.
My life is filled with angels and demons. 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 My life is filled with
You wanna know what? I think the singing's great. We'll put this on the mix engineer.
Yeah, well,
Just needs to
And
be
I was-
turned down just a little bit.
yeah, and I was scared to sing. Like,
Oh, whoops. I turned the volume the wrong way.
at that point, I didn't trust my talent enough to sing.
Don't even listen to that. You know this world's so cold. Life full of struggle. You don't want to see yourself grow old. Living your life full of misery means to send all your pain. Send yourself from the headache and living life this way. How can you even go on? I just don't understand it. Consider the life that you lead and the life you was handed. You should be dead in the grave, but your angel too pushy. Why don't you do it this time and do it right, you pussy? I'm feeling your pain, baby girl. I know what you've been through. Out of all these rainy days, look what God done sent you. I'm an angel that's here for you, but I'm from above. Just to let you know your family's here supporting with love.
Way too hard to work with struggles, can't deal with the hustle and bustle. Everyone expecting something, and I feel like I'm giving up nothing. Tired of feeling like failure day in and day out. You can say that I'm good, but does it even mean
How
shit now?
can you even compare us? I'm the easy way out. So load the gun with a shell and put the gun in your mouth and get that trigger a squeeze and let your life float away. Now all your problems are solved.
I think my demons got it right this time. That looks sublime compared to the hell of life. Fill my mouth full of shotgun with my finger on the trigger. Hope my soul won't linger. Squeeze fast, hear it clack, and everything goes black.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. No, that song is still one of the realest tracks I've ever written. Because like all that shit that we talked about in that track, it was real life shit at the time.
Yeah.
And
Also, for 26-year-old at that time, I only know that because for the longest time, if I felt someone was an adult, but like kind of like my age, I'd be like, oh, they have to be 26. That's what an adult is. Because
Yeah.
the first adult I hung out with was 26.
and
For like being self-aware enough to write the like first verse stuff, very, very good, mature
Well,
of you.
well, thank you. I mean, it was, you know, like I said, it was, you know, just real life shit. So, and I always wanted to do that in my music anyways. It, you know, you said earlier that like horrorcore is just, it's all allegory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is. Like any line that I've ever written has been some kind of metaphor or some kind of symbol for like something real that's going on in my life, whatever it may be, whether good or bad. So like, you know what I mean? Like this song was, this was like the springboard into like, okay, not everything has to be horrorcore and like blood and guts and dick cutting and like all this shit. Like the artist I became was kind of born in this song, because this was like that. I knew I wanted to pick up gore lore from here before this album was even done. I had already like conceptualized gore lore, and the next, you know, the upcoming album is like the end to this trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So like this song is where like everything that I did after solo wise was kind of born here.
And the concept, I won't say what it is, but when you like seemingly stopped doing music, I was like, man, that sucks. I wanted to see the next concept album because it was a great concept.
And it's still the same concept, and it's, you know, I think I've got, so I mean I'll release the tea here. Why not?
Ooh.
So as of right now, the next release, my desire is to do a 2-disc release.
2 discs?
So I want to do, yeah. So you actually helped me get the last of the beats that I needed. So I have all of the beats I need for disc 2. And disc 1 is, as of right now, the way that it's conceptualized and kind of mapped out is going to be an all collabs album. And then the second part will be all solo tracks with the exception of 2 or 3 features by Poppin'.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so it's going to be basically, it's going to pick up after, if you're, you know, if people are familiar with gore lore, at the end of gore lore, I get shot down by the police after going, you know, returning from hell and going on this like murder spree. So the next album will pick up, it's going to be called Solitary Confinement, is going to be the solo cuts. And then volume 1 is going to be called Gen Horror Pop. And basically it's the third part of the trilogy is me going to this like super secret prison, similar to like a CIA black site, but even more secretive, where like the worst of the worst are housed. And just kind of, you know, the experiences in Gen Pop with like all the other horrorcore baddies that are housed there. And then the second part will be like all the solo shit that's kind of the more real stuff that's going to come with the album. Like the first volume is going to be like super horrorcore, you know, super, you know, I want blood, guts, violence, like on every track. And then, you know, on the solo cuts, I talk about like losing Chris, TC and Stitches, the, you know, a lot of the like personal shit that I've been through. So it's like a lot more of a personal album. So that's the plan. I mean, I still need a ton of beats for volume 1 for the like all the collab stuff, and
I have more.
well, and you just sent me a bunch of stuff that I have to listen to. So, but again, it's so hard to I don't want to like get into writing that album and not have the tracks to send out to people to drop on.
Yeah.
And volume 2, I've got like I think 8 songs recorded. Like volume 2 is halfway done. But it's because originally this started as a single disc.
Yeah.
So like I had finished like half the CD before I, you know, and what happened was I moved. That's why I stepped away from music, because I just moved back to the west side of the state. So didn't have the means to record, and was working all the time, had a stepson at that point. So like I've never really stepped away, as it were. I haven't retired. I'm not done. Like, I'm just doing it on my terms. The people who are able to release music all the time, I'm like, oh, it's so lucky, so jealous. But I don't feel the need to do that. Like, I'll put it out when it's done, when I'm happy with it. And, I'm doing this for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's a different sound for sure. Like, especially those solo tracks, like, they're not necessarily horrorcore. They're more horror hip hop, but
I gotta find
it's
out
coming.
what beats of mine you're using and see if I can update any of them.
I'll hit you up when we.
Are you using Pima? If it's Pima, I need to redo that one.
I don't know if I have that. That might be one of the few that I've got held back. I have a spreadsheet in Excel.
Right.
I'll look at it and see.
I think I still have that. I think you shared that spreadsheet with me.
I think I probably did, because it's got like all the song concepts and the people I wanted to feature and all that kind of shit.
All right, man. This was great. Well, we got to get you on so you can finally meet Nicole. We'll get you on Mostly Speaking Sentai. She'll look at the length of this and then probably be like, I don't think she can come on, James, because
we need an outline.
Yeah, that actually does have an outline. It's intro, it's a cold open, theme song, talk for 2 minutes with Nicole, intro you, and that's also one I have to edit. So I'm like, if we start going towards an hour,
people got some extra goodies on this one.
Yeah, this was so fun.
No, I had a blast.
This was the best.
No, thank you for having me do it, and for helping me out, getting everything ready, and for this, it's cool for this to be like my quote unquote first public appearance as LYSSA CER in 4+ years. I'm glad it's on your show. That's
and also, it's a celebration of you coming back.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to be back. If people want to celebrate that with me, that's the shit. Like that,
because we're listening to your album.
Oh yeah, it is cool. It's it's very humbling. Like I say it with a snark because it's like I'm like all bashful, but it's cool to do this. Like, it made me want to listen to Gore Lore, and it made me want to pick up a pen again, which was an unexpected treat.
Maybe we'll do Gore Lore, and then we'll get an outline. We'll get some structure before.
Right.
beforehand.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to talk so much in between tracks.
Well, like you said, we're like actual friends in real life and have been for a long time, and we haven't seen nor talked to each other like this in years. So people don't like it, they can fast forward through it. Shit.
Yeah. Well,
you got LYSSA CER and Marshland Monster like in their natural habitat.
Yeah. Me with lights behind me. That's my natural habitat.
Having to put pants on to dance.
Yeah. Shorts. I got them on, guys.
Yeah.
Like that one time I just stood up in your apartment as a 16-year-old boy and my pants just dropped, and it was the funniest thing that's ever happened.
It was hilarious, but it was like, oh God, I cried.
Hey, it's Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
What's up, Nicole? Just plow through it.
No, it'll.
We'll just Well, unplug it. It's right there. Come say hi. We're just about to wrap up.
Hi.
Do you want zucchini and a hot dog?
I'll take zucchini and a hot dog.
All right. Cool.
Put the hot dog inside the zucchini, hollow it out, bake it.
Oh, now you got a socks.
All right. Yes, Socks is here. Come on, little guy. Okay. Amy, do you have any, or I mean, LYSSA CER, do you have anything to plug?
No. Just, I'm not dead yet.
Hell yeah.
That's it. We ain't dead yet. May seem like we are, but we're just relaxing in the crypt.
Man, that's something I got to do on this. It's 4 songs, which will be done quickly.
It is a good, and that's got Abortion Clinic.
And it's on TC's Reverb Nation, so it's available.
There you go.
Guys, if you're still here, if you're checking this in VOD, please give a follow on Twitch, or the best thing to do, follow or listen wherever podcasts are found. Listen to Mostly Speaking Sentai. That's Nicole and I. We're trying to get our friends into Super Sentai. It's the Japanese show that Power Rangers is cut around. We mostly speak about that. Like you saw just here, it's usually we don't. We get 40 minutes in and we're like, shit, we have not talked about this
Yeah.
episode at all.
Damn. What were we talking about?
Then This Movie's Gay. That's a great one. Corwin and I were, he's either introducing me to queer film or I'm introducing him things to the campiest and weirdest of films. And he's like, why, James? Why do you like this?
Because it's awesome.
Like Vegas in Space. Whoo, boy. That one's great. Have you seen Vegas in Space?
I have not.
Oh, it's a trauma movie. It's fucking great. Oh, Sofan de Rocks gave me a follow. Hell yeah.
There
Check
you
out
go.
Mostly Speaking Sentai. This Movie's Gay. They're available wherever podcasts are found or go to mlmpod.com. That's M for Marsh, L for Land, M for Media, then POD.
Oh,
Yeah. And then you can listen to Marshland Monster wherever music is found, or you can go to mlmpod.com. I have a tab for Marshland Monster. You can download it all. I have beats on there. Some are free. There's a beat pack for $20. You get 17 songs for just 17 beats for just, those are untagged.
and the man is a genius. So that's pretty much a basement bargain.
Hell yeah. And then we got another follow for Los Santos. Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. And then we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/MLMpod, where we have Engage with Nicolas Cage. That's Nicole and I watching every single Nick Cage movie. Talking about Beyblade. That is a podcast that I used to do in a closet by myself because none of my friends wanted to be on the show with me as a co-host. For good reason. Beyblade, the first season of that show, sucks. But it's an insane batshit conceptual podcast that is now, I just get friends on and we talk. It's very creatively exhausting. That's why I had to get guests on. Then we also have the Toku Reading Corner, where Nicole is reading tokusatsu fan fiction that I do. We make it like a visual novel, so I'm making lo-fi covers of whatever franchise we're doing a fanfic of. So we got Godzilla, we got Power Rangers, My Little Pony. It's been great. I've been really enjoying doing that. And then a new one, This Existed, where my friend Lil Corey, he's such a tiny man. I'm kidding. He's just younger than us. I'm showing him movies that are in stuff that's I have a hard time proving to people that existed. The aforementioned Meet the Deedles will be the first episode. We're going to do like WMAC Masters. Everyone listening to this knows these, but Big Money Hustlers and Big Money Rustlers, those are things people don't believe existed, but everyone listening to this knows they do.
Oh, they exist.
And all that other stuff. Might be doing an ICP podcast with my good friend Sean because he was apprehensive of ICP, but then I read him the liner notes from Carnival of Carnage, and man, that reads like the French Revolution. It's ahead of its time. It's fucking dope. I'm doing a lot of stuff, guys. If you need beats, if you are a film producer and you need a score, please hit me up.
Man of many talents.
So I think that's all I do. Oh, and then here on Twitch, I stream like Pokemon and other RPGs because I can grind and it's very easy to beat them. Sometimes
And now Unearth the Underground.
Yes, and Unearth the Underground. I think the next one might be Suda Kane's August Underground. For some reason, it's nowhere to stream. But I'm afraid it will get flagged for copyright because of all the samples in it. And man, a white kid on a stream listening to how many times he says the N-word might not come across as well. So maybe I'll do Hell on Earth 2007, the EP. Ooh, baby, it's my favorite one.
Yes.
Or
Get you some. You could probably get some of the actual artists from that one too.
I hit up Tim and he put me on Not Red. I think he just hasn't. He's busy.
He is busy. Yeah,
So-
he
Oh yeah, he just yeah.
that
that makes
does
sense.
take up a little bit of time.
What was another one? Razor Ruckus is like EP before it was re-released. I have that. That's a good one. There was one. Oh! Shout out to Sid Voorhees and Expired Silence. I did an old Sid Voorhees album a few months ago, and out of the blue, because I was like, who the fuck is this producer, Expired Silence? Got a message from someone saying, hey, this is Expired Silence. Thank you so much for all the kind words. And might be And then
Dude,
Sid Voorhees hit me up. What's up?
Defect would be another one.
Oh yes, Defect. Or if your stuff's not available on streaming, man, I might have to do Broken Mirrors.
Even if it is, I bet he'd be down.
All right.
And if people haven't heard that album, they need to.
Or maybe I'll do like the EP that before Postmortem that Rotten put out.
Yeah.
Could do that.
So many good choices.
Man, I'd love to do a 2 clips album, but a white person saying the N-word also might.
I'm sure you could do it without having to say that word.
No, I mean he says it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
that's the issue here. You gotta draw
that's
a
another
line
podcast.
somewhere. Yeah,
I know that's another podcast. Though.
I have a bunch of stuff. I was gonna do some cryptic stuff, but Comatose beat me to the punch, and he put all that stuff up. Might have to do maybe Horrorcore Heroes. That's not on there. Maybe maybe some solo Ruckus albums.
Oh wow,
that'd be good.
Wow,
I got a lot. I'll do a Sick Fuck EP. I think that's the name of that group.
So many good things.
I got a lot. Maybe I'll play old stuff of mine. I'm kidding. We'll never do that.
Carnivorous.
Oh, yeah. I could play. I mean, that also has samples on it that would probably get flagged.
Yeah.
Guys, check out Carnivorous. It's on Marshland or MLMpod.com/Marshland LYSSA CER, me. Unfortunately, did not have the other person that was going to get on that song. It would have been a fucking banger of a song.
I thought Demonic was on that song.
No, TC was supposed to be on that song.
But didn't D take his place?
No, that's just you and me. He ended up getting on This Fascination, which is a great song.
That's what it was. That's a great song. I love that track.
Yeah, guys, check me out. I'm a pretty okay rapper.
He's
I'm fucking great.
It's true. It's true. I'd love to argue on that because you said it like such a scamp.
Yeah.
But it's true. He is a good rapper.
Based on my fan base, I'm not a good rapper.
Yeah, well, based on any of our fan bases, I don't think any of us are.
I'm just screaming into a void, even though it's I take so much time writing this stuff. There are times when it's just like one bar and I'm like, every syllable needs to rhyme.
It's an art.
Yeah. I can't even think of one line from a song that I could say right now of mine. I'm bad at lyrics. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Right.
Thanks,
Peter.
See you guys. Also, if you have an album you would like me to do that you think is not available anywhere, please let me know. I'm on Facebook, Marshland Monster. Just let me know. Bye.
Peace.